folks. Running a little late today, but I do wish to welcome you to Lolcow Nobodies. I'm not really running late. There's no time slot, so really there's no possible way for me to be late. Usually I stream around noonish. It's a little bit busy today, but I got a show for you, folks. We got a few things to talk about. This is, of course, Lolcow Report Maddox. Did you tell your mom you're cleaning your room tomorrow? I was cleaning out my dead grandmother's house. You insensitive fuck. Okay. So we're talking about Maddox today. There was also some stuff in the LCU. Keemstar's swinging his big boss dick around, firing people again. There's stuff going on, all sorts of things. I got clips. I got things to say, and of course, we're going to talk about King Cuck himself, Maddox. All of that and more today on Lolcow Nobodies.
Oh, yeah. Keemstar's tantrums, man, dude's a soft shell. Quicker to anger than a toddler who fell. Boogie's wallet always open, he pleads. Tears on the mic while he's planting fake seeds. Wings just chillin', yeah, too normal to fit. A calm in the chaos, the misfit in the pit. John Stutter echoes lawsuits in his grip. Sue in the wind, man's lost his script. A Lolcow nobody circling the drain. 10 out of 12 shows bringing nothing but pain. Broadcast kings, nah, just jokers and shame. Except Tommy C, he's torching the game. A Lolcow nobody circling the drain. 10 out of 12 shows bringing nothing but pain. Broadcast kings, nah, just jokers and shame. Except Tommy C, he's torching the game. Raleigh with the mic, dissecting the fools. Keem's fragile ego, breaking all the rules. Boogie's tales, man, the lies run deep. Crying on stream while the fans lose sleep. Wing steady like a stone in the storm. The only one sane, breaking the norm. Tommy C's throne, a crown on his dome. The rest of the cast dead, air in the tomb. Frank Cass crumbling, can't hold the weight. The LCU's fate, sealed by the hate. Begging and yelling lawsuits in despair. Keem circus act, the clown's unaware. Lolcow nobody circling the drain. 10 out of 12 shows bringing nothing but pain. Broadcast kings, nah, just jokers and shame. Except Tommy C, he's torching the game. A Lolcow nobody circling the drain. 10 out of 12 shows bringing nothing but pain. Broadcast kings, nah, just jokers and shame. Except Tommy C, he's torching the game. A Lolcow parade, a spectacle to see. Keem's fragile empire built on debris. Raleigh's mic sharp, cutting through the farce while the nobodies crumble. Tommy's leaving scars.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lolcow Nobodies. What AI service did I use for that song, Redux? I'd be happy to tell you. It was. I gotta check my history because I don't remember. Makesong.com. This episode is sponsored by Makesong.com. No, it's not. I don't want to get sued. But folks, we got plenty to talk about today. Once again, there is visible trash on the floor in camera range. The only good song so far. It's the same song as yesterday. The one that you complained about yesterday. But yeah, so I guess we'll get into the LCU stuff first, because then we're gonna deep dive into Maddox. Let me undeafen, because Crow Royalty is already here. Hi, Crow Royalty.
What's up?
What's going on?
Saw you in stream chat or stream call.
So you figured you just come in and crash?
Yeah, pretty much. I ain't got shit better to do.
Fair enough. You can laugh at Lolcow shit with me.
Sure.
We're gonna talk about Maddox, which you know some a little bit about.
Yeah, no, I
So
want to laugh at Maddox.
yeah.
Maddox is funny as fuck.
First we gotta talk about some Lolcow live stuff though. So just yesterday, I was talking about how Keemstar can't keep his mitts off the universe, and he always has to be in control, and he always has to be firing somebody, and that he should just shut the
Wait, was
fuck
that
up.
you on Twitter?
Me on Twitter, what?
I saw a post like or regarding Keemstar, and he had done some shit. I don't even know what the context of the video
No,
was,
I haven't tweeted about Keemstar recently. I don't know what the tweet you're referring to is.
but it was like, Keemstar, you are a fucking adult. And I was
Yeah,
like, was
he's
that
a
you?
I mean, I feel that way. I agree with that person about Keemstar's childlikeness. But yeah, he got his boss stick out, and he's got all the fucking dramatic music and shit. He sent Boogie and Wings away. He made them leave because he didn't want the call to be overcrowded. And then he's like bringing people in one by one and being like, "You've done crimes, and for your crimes, you will not be fired today." And then he's going down the list until finally we reach the final one on the list. Which, real quick, before we talk about the final one on the list, because I'm gonna play that clip. I've got another clip I want to play for you, because one of the people who was on the chopping block, who ultimately did not get fired, was a Miss Zay Zooted from Lolcow Nerds, and I have the clip of the thing she said that almost got her fired. And it's the best advertisement for Lolcow Nerds possible. So let's take a look, because this makes me want to watch this fucking stupid show. Nope, did not return to the clip, please. Nope, just pause the clip. Okay, whatever. It's being annoying.
On another note, I am sick, but I do not have COVID. So
That's nice.
5 years COVID fucking no. I have no COVID. I'm not going to get COVID ever. Fuck that shit.
Congratulations.
Like I don't know how the fuck I've managed to dodge it for 5 years fucking straight, but I have.
I also have never gotten COVID. It is a miracle. Although it's
You
always
know,
like a week and a half after I get sick that I end up finally COVID testing, so maybe it's just gone away before I've caught it every time.
yeah, probably. And then there's me of it never actively shows up on COVID tests because so I felt like shit Monday. Okay.
Hmm.
I like barely could make it through fucking work.
I forgot I have to
Then
screen share the clips to you. I'm glad you were talking, so I remembered. Keep going.
you're good. But so I made it through work Monday barely. I went in Tuesday morning and I just felt so astronomically fucking worse. I made it through
Hmm.
2 fucking hours. Got so fucking dizzy I about fell out, and then made it to my break and the break area. Sat down on the stairs and about passed the fuck out. So my boss, or not even my boss, the person who I was working for that day, proceeded to go, "Yeah, no, you're sick. Go to the fucking doctor." And I did. And I was like, or one of my coworkers before I walked out was like, "Hey, you got COVID?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I can still taste shit."
My one of my supervisors from work like couldn't smell for like months because she got COVID.
Oh yeah, no, I can still smell barely, but that's more so just because I'm congested as
Yeah,
fuck.
because you have a stuffy nose.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
but I got to the doctor, and doctor was just like, "Yeah, no, you just need to take the day, go take a fucking nap, and then don't go in tomorrow. Take a fucking nap."
do some napping, and instead you're here to talk about lol cows.
I have been asleep since 7 a.m. I just woke up from taking a fucking nap.
Based. That's a lay epic
So
nap.
yeah,
That's an entire night's
like
sleep worth of a nap, actually, I think. I think that's just you
yeah,
went
that's
to
an entire
I think you
night's
just
sleep
went to
worth of
sleep,
a
co
nap.
royalty. I don't think you took a nap. I think you just went to bed.
No, okay. I went to sleep last night at like 10, then woke up at like 6:40 because 2 10-year-olds that share a room with me had to go to school. And then I fell back asleep and slept until like 10 minutes ago. And then
Riveting.
walked a dog, and
Okay,
then
got it.
I'm here. And then I'm here.
Got it. I should have stopped this minutes ago. What are you fucking doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, let's watch this clip. So this is why Zay Zooted, who is the purple-haired lady on the bottom right, almost got fired last night. So let's check it out. So this is Sweet Tea, the girl on the bottom of the main three on the top, the red-haired chick. She's got no teeth. And apparently she's causing a lot of problems and making a lot of false allegations about other people in the LCU. So people aren't thrilled with her, and that includes Miss Zayzudid. So let's hear the clip, the almost fireable clip. Let me knock the volume down a tad, and here we go.
Dude, I am so fucking outraged. Listen, you can. I just realized
He
that she
sounds like
said
white
KYS
trash.
at the end of one of the messages she sent the other night on Discord.
She did.
And it's like we're
She bragged
grown
about
ass
it.
women now.
I'ma stand on that. Kill yourself, bitch. You're a waste of fucking space. You're a waste of government welfare. Anyways.
Damn, I
Wow.
vibe with her.
Dude, I am so fucking outraged. Listen,
It's just damn, I vibe with her.
Yeah, for real. Like now, I feel like I need to watch Lolcow Nerds. It's too many fucking Lolcow shows that I need to watch. What a fucking hero.
Like,
Does 10-year-olds will be your 30-year-old roommates who you share your what the fuck?
I
What are
don't
you
know.
talking about, Redox?
Redux, you're what?
Redox, type better. I have a feeling you typed something incorrectly, as you tend to do. Type
Yeah.
better. So yeah, that's Zay Zooted. I think she should be promoted for this. I think she should
Yes,
be on
very much
live,
so.
actually.
Yeah, no. Promote promote Zayzooted to like actual locale status.
Yeah, put her on the main
Like
show.
put her on the main
Get
show.
rid of Boogie. Fire Boogie and replace him
Fire
with Zay
Boogie
Zooted.
with Zayzooted. That's great. That's perfect.
I shouldn't be campaigning for the firing of Boogie because he actually did get me into the Discord. So now I like him
Oh, he
again.
did? That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, what else do we got for clips? So okay, so that was the lead up. So the main event, of course, is the series of firing. I'm not gonna make you sit through Keemstar's whole fucking elaborate bit. He almost fires Nightmare and he doesn't. He almost fires Zay and Buff, who's the black guy who also told somebody that they should kill themselves. So
Aw, what the
I
fuck?
I guess that's what nerds are up to, is just telling people to kill themselves, and that's pretty funny.
Keemstar
But
needs to grow a pair.
wait, what?
I said Keemstar needs to grow a pair.
What, and fire them?
No, he needs to
Or
grow a pair.
yeah, go pair, not yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he
He needs
said
to
they
grow a
told
pair and
somebody to
stop being
kill
such a little
themselves
bitch.
on the internet. What a fucking wow. Oh no.
Oh no, somebody
Uh,
can kill you. Fuck off.
but yeah, Buff and Zay didn't get fired. He pulled up a kid behind a camera because he threatened to beat up CD-ROM because he made a joke about how he got arrested for domestic violence. And then Keemstar made a joke about how he got arrested for domestic violence and he had to wear a sign that said fist behind a camera, so that's pretty good. But now we got the final group, and he's calling up several people at once. So who knows who he's gonna fire, folks? Who knows? This one I was not able to clip because it's longer than a minute, but I was able to timestamp it. So let me get to the right part. Perfect. All right, I'm still screen sharing, right? I don't know why I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Okay, here we go. Is everything working? I'm saying you and those two kids will be your roommates as adult. Okay, I get it. He's saying that you'll never move out, so that those 10-year-olds will continue to be your roommate until you are 30. That's what he's saying.
You're aware Riley still lives with his mother, right?
Yes, he is aware of that. Very much aware of that. Okay,
Just
now
saying.
let's see who Keem fires and why. Here we go.
I need Gidgey up here. And Lisi. And Scooter. And Albert.
Now, let me tell
Albert.
you. Let me tell you, right? I heard this, had no clue who the fuck Scooter or Albert was. I, I ended up recognizing Scooter. He's Gidgey's son, who they had just hired like fucking 2 days prior. And then Albert, I guess, is Tina's son, Tina's black son, famously. And I guess they are involved in some way. Even though neither of them have a show at this point, at this current point in the video that we're watching. But they got called up,
Well,
so
let's
who
give them a
knows
show
what's
if
going
they
on.
told some random white trash bitch to kill herself.
Well, they should do that, but that's not what they did. But let's see what happens.
Lisi, Scooter, Albert, and Gidgey. Get up here.
Yeah, we all know you pick on me too, Redux.
You're gonna fucking fire the bitch. I fucking told Dolls last night you would see the fucking vote. You're getting rid of this fucking bitch. You're getting rid of this goddamn leech. Thank you, fucking Keemstar.
Shh. Don't talk to him like that, please.
Okay, so
What the fuck
rundown,
is her problem?
rundown. Okay, so the one on the bottom right, her camera's not on yet. She's Lisi. She's kind of hot. Then there's the two on the left. The old lady is Gidgey. She's in trouble because they found an old clip of her saying the N word on a live stream. Uh, and since then, she's been like playing into the racism bit. And Keemstar's upset. And then the one on the bottom is her son, Scooter, who is just hired to be on a show with this hot chick, Lisi. And he wants her gone because he hates her, and doesn't want to be on a show with her.
Wait,
So and
Lisi? He doesn't want me. Oh, what
he
the
doesn't want he
fuck?
doesn't want to be on a show with Lisi. Lisi is in trouble because she doesn't know how to run a show. I guess is Keemstar's issue with Lisi. And then there's gonna be a black guy who shows up, and that's gonna be Albert. He's coming in a second. So now that you're caught up on who's who and what's what, let's see what happens.
Please.
Can we get Albert up here? Could you guys text him?
Yeah, I got him.
I
I'll get him.
highly doubt Albert knew that I was going to call him up here. Oh,
No.
I think he's here.
Lisi and Albert were waiting on your camera.
Sorry, my camera was glitching.
See, pretty cute, right?
Yeah.
The only woman in the LCU who's not like over 50 and ugly. Bro, can I find a clip of Lolcow Milkers? I just want to show you. They made a whole show about tits, and this is who they put on this show. Let me see if I can find it. Doesn't exist anymore, but I'm sure I can find a clip.
What the hell?
No, those aren't the right ones. Okay. What the fuck,
What
man?
the fuck?
These fucking hags. Like, what is this?
They're talking about tits?
Well, I don't think the show's about tits, but the idea is that they, I guess, have big tits, which I guess the one on the bottom kind of does, but I don't want to look at them because they're hags.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
What was this? I'm glad Keemstar ended this show because it was a fucking stupid idea.
You know, let's restart Lolcow Milkers with
Get me
like,
on there. I got fat tits. But all right, let's.
Jesus fuck, right?
All right, let's actually see what happens here.
Cunning Linguist super chatted $20.
Oh,
Keen, if you truly want to collaborate with H3 at some point, then you have to accept that they won't do it with someone like Gigi around.
I agree.
It's true.
I 100% agree.
Absolutely.
Bear with me. I need to set up my epic music.
This is gonna be fucking amazing. I've been fucking waiting for this since she fucking came into this goddamn universe. Gigi, you're echoing.
Lisi,
You better be. Mm-hmm.
you are a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, I
Not a
know.
host.
I know.
You can't produce a show at all. It's so incredibly
I've been struggling,
boring.
yeah.
Money, why do you give a shit? Like, this is the same thing with the goddamn ducks on Lolcow Test. Like, whatever. She's a Twitch streamer, I'm sure people are donating. I'm sure they are.
People are probably donating for her tits, unlike
correct.
on Milkers.
Yes, she should be on Milkers. I'm sure. I'm sure you could get her and two attractive women with big tits. You're Keemstar, and Lolcow makes so much money. You could make a Lolcow Milkers with actually hot women. But I don't know. Whatever. Milkers is over now. Now we have two varieties of Lolcow shows that are named after testicles. So I guess we're moving away from the girls.
What the fuck?
There's already a show called Lolcow Balls with Billy the Fridge and Rastov. It's like a bro show. And then stay tuned.
Yeah. But actually, I think I want to talk to Gigi. Gigi?
Yep.
I don't think you're racist at all.
Thank you.
At all. I don't think you have hatred in your heart for any minority. I don't. But I think you were trying to be cool on the internet, which is pretty funny for a 60-year-old woman. And you said a lot of bad stuff. And when you didn't acknowledge that you were hurting people's feelings, I told you to take a real apology. And then you did do a real apology.
That redhead girl from Lolcow Cafe or Gaming or whatever is cuter. Sweet Tea? You think Sweet Tea is cuter than Lisi?
The one with no teeth?
I mean, she's second place, but like it's not a big. It's Lisi's running away with it.
And then this entire internet kept bullying you and bullying you, would not accept your apology whatsoever. So then you decided to lean into the meme. And I gotta admit, at one point, I was pretty entertained.
I meant to prepare this clip, I didn't, and I don't want to go and find it. But one of the she straight up committed to this racism bit, and what I think is hilarious. I should have clipped this. So obviously everybody's accusing her of being racist, and she's trying to play into it. So she put on a Burger King crown, like that guy on the airplane who was racist that went viral famously. She got KFC and grape soda, and offered it to her son. And he was like, what's wrong with you, you racist bitch? And she's like, what? I thought you liked chicken and grape soda. It's pretty good. I think it's still funny. I think Keemstar's barking up the wrong tree by saying that it's not funny anymore.
Entertained by you.
No,
leaning
fire
into
the little
meme.
bitch in the bottom left corner.
That's Scooter. He just got hired. Literally
fire
2 days
Scooter.
prior.
Yeah, Scooter, get fucked, Scooter, get fired. You just got hired.
Shit, oops. I might not be remembering the correct person. I guess I can just open up Lolcow Tech Talk. Lolcow Tech Talk. You got a couple pictures of her there. I didn't mean to go away from them. That's Sweet Tea right there. Like, she's not the worst, but I don't think she's cuter than Lisi, certainly.
Yeah, no.
Lisi could make money titty Twitch streaming. I don't think Sweet Tea could. Showing off her gums.
Hey, wait, hold up. Was it Redox that's in that chat?
No, she has crimson red hair. The red hair's nice. I like the red hair. Wait, you're saying
Yeah.
it's the wrong girl? Because this is the only girl. There's nobody else you could talk about. She's an Batgirl. Okay.
What girl? Used.
Lolcow Cafe. I don't know. Let me not leave the video let me open a new tab and not be stupid. Oh yeah, okay. That's a wig. But yeah, Batgirl's pretty cute. I forgot about Batgirl. I feel bad. Yeah, Sweet Tea's not second place actually. It's Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Let me see if I can find a better. Cause she's making a weird face in that one. I guess I could just pull up an episode.
Oh, her? With the pink hair right there?
Yeah.
She has teeth.
Yeah, she's pretty cute. Yeah, and she has teeth. So yeah, better than Sweet Tea.
And she has. Hey, Riley. Hey, Riley.
Yeah.
There's the episode for you.
Which one?
Clowning around the cafe.
Oh my god, she's in clown makeup. Hold on, we gotta take a break. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Alright, let's fucking finish this goddamn clip of Keemstar firing somebody, Jesus.
But now you've taken it so far to leaning into the meme that you're just being fucking racist. But here's the thing. You don't give a fuck at all.
I like how the music drop is at the perfect place. Like, the music is stupid, but like the timing on "You Don't Give a Fuck" being right at the music drop is pretty good.
Oh
on
yeah.
How you look on the internet. You don't care. You wouldn't put pies on your face leading to the fucking meme if you gave a flying fuck. So how can I punish someone who just doesn't care? The only thing I can do is go after something you truly love.
Keem, don't do this. Fire me. I'm a PR nightmare. Keem, don't do this.
She literally sounds like she's begging for her life in this like goofy ass Keemstar LARPing Donald Trump the Apprentice fucking firing people. It's
Yep.
not that serious, Gidgy.
Keem, please.
And that's why, Gidgy, I'm going to, for you being racist, fire your white son and replace him with Tina's black son.
Are you
Albert,
fucking kidding me? This
you're
is the
now
best
on
fucking doll
dolls.
show that there's been since she came on the show. Are you fucking kidding me? That's bullshit. Fine. Fuck. I said I fucking honor it. Fuck.
Keemstar ended racism, everybody. He
Wait,
did
hold
it.
on. Back up. I want to see what the hot chick did.
She celebrated.
I was like too busy watching the white guy.
Alright, let instant replay.
Being racist, fire your white son and replace him with Tina's black son.
Are you
Albert,
fucking kidding me? This
you're
is the
now
best
on
fucking doll
dolls.
show that there's been since she came on the show. Are you fucking kidding me? That's bullshit. Fine. Fuck. I said I fucking honor it. Fuck.
Keem, please. Fire.
Loser. Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Oh
That's what
god,
you get,
that guy
Scooter.
sounds
You
worse
no,
than
no,
me.
no, no. I don't think y'all understand.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, damn, that guy sounded worse than me.
But hold on, there's a little bit more.
Scooter came on to dolls. Okay, he started this whole tally to get rid of me, and it ended up backfiring. So that's what he fucking gets.
Lacey,
Fuck yes. Yeah?
Lacey, you have been you've been speaking out against racism on your show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been calling Gidgy out, and you've been speaking about it on the Discord. So I set up a test to see if you would celebrate that a man got fired based on his skin color, and you just celebrated.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Scooter got fired
Celebrating
because
he's white?
Scooter got
Celebrating because he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, so Lisi, you're also fired
What the
because that
fuck?
was racist.
So yeah, Keem fired one of two hot women in the LCU. I forgot about Batgirl. Really, I feel bad now. Batgirl completely left my brain. I was super chatting on Rewind about how Keem fired the only attractive one. I feel so bad about Bat. I forgot
What the
about you,
fuck?
Batgirl. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you ugly indirectly.
I'm very confused on what the fuck is up Keemstar's ass right now.
Well, because it's a bit. Because he obviously always intended to fire Lisi, but the bit that he's come up with is so he's proving that she's racist because he said that he fired Scooter based on his skin color, and because Lisi celebrated that, that's racist, and thus she is fired.
What the fuck? That's some bullshit.
So we'll see what else happens. We're almost done.
She was celebrating because a white man got fired.
Keem, don't fire me. I'm the problem here. Keem, I'm a PR nightmare. My son wants this so bad.
Scooter,
Please, Keem.
you and Albert will be hosting Lolcow Nuts starting tomorrow
Look, how what?
at 9
Look, how
a.m.
what?
What about the leech?
She's fired.
Yes!
See you guys.
Let's fucking go! Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
All right.
There you go, folks. We got Lolcow balls and we got Lolcow nuts.
Well, fuck. Oh god. That's some bullshit.
Starring Scooter and Albert, who so far might be the two least interesting people I've ever seen. Horrible acting from that lady, true. Yeah, Gidgey's definitely trying to fucking play it up and it's not working. She's acting she's acting as a bad actor would when they're trying to act as if they're negotiating for their lives. And that makes it even worse when the acting assignment is you might be fired from a podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah,
Yeah, no. Should have
Lisi's
just
fired. Lolcow Nuts exists now, and that's what's going on in the LCU.
see. In my personal opinion, should have kept Lisi. Should have just fired the other two and made titty streamer money on Twitch.
True, real. They should have moved
Like,
Lolcow Dolls to Twitch because she's a Twitch streamer.
yeah, because her celebrating because a guy's a prick is different than her celebrating because he got fired.
I'm sorry, you got cut out. Oh yeah,
I
no, I know,
said,
I know what you said though. I put it together just now in my brain. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a bullshit reason, like he's fucking around. But the ultimate thing, the trick, you just got tricked, Pro Royalty. You just got fucking epically tricked, just like everybody else. Because apparently Lisi was already leaving. Keem just fired her like a week early.
okay, yeah, that's what the fuck.
At that point, it's just like a shitty capitalist practice.
Yeah, it is
Like one of those
absolutely,
shitty bosses who's like, I've received your 2 weeks notice. Leave now. I've decided.
and this is why I don't give 2 weeks.
So yeah, this is purely performative. Keem just really wanted to be Donald Trump. And that's how we do it. So that's enough with the LCU. I think we've covered everything. Super relevant there. I did watch that rap song is a little too mean. Because I think Billy and Xylee are great broadcasters, and the show they're on are probably good. I caught Rewind for the first time last night, and I was thoroughly entertained. I couldn't make it through Balls. I got 15 minutes into Balls, and I had to go to bed. Because that's the issue with a 24-hour network is there are people who have to stream at fucking midnight to 2 a.m. You think Keem has nightmares that'll never be like Trump? No, because I think in his brain he's already like Trump. Striking similarities between the two. Yes, he's literally stolen Donald Trump's bit from reality TV. And this is what he thinks is entertaining. Is like, oh, I'm gonna fire somebody today, guys. Why is Lolcow not just literally podcast The Apprentice? Like stop pretending that these people are actually gonna stick around and just do like a game show where they have to podcast and then they get fired. Like literally do The Apprentice but a podcast network.
The Apprentice, what a podcast.
You're focusing too much into Lolcow while you can't even drive. Those two things have nothing to do with each other, okay? I can focus on Lolcow and learn how to drive. I just choose not to.
Riley, learn how to drive, you fuck.
No.
Learn how to drive. Well, no, you'd be too big to even fit behind the wheel of a car, so I can't tell you to learn how to drive.
Folks, let's talk about King Cuck, Mr. Maddox himself. That's our main topic for today. Even though I feel
Yep,
like
and why I stuck around.
why you stuck around. I mean, you can just watch the clips. Damn, fucking Picky Perry over there. You know,
I'm fucking with you. I'm
yeah,
fucking with you. Like, wholeheartedly.
Riley be 31 bumming a ride. I don't bum rides. I just take Ubers. Like an
Riley
adult.
be 31, living with his mother and only ever taking Uber.
That might be true. That one might be right. But folks, Maddox is an individual who it's really a downfall story, much like Stuttering John. There's a lot of parallels between those two, especially now. It's truly a rise and fall story of a man who found fame in a place where it really didn't exist yet. He was a pioneer. He was like one of the first internet celebrities ever. Maddox had his website, best debate. No, best debate in the universe is his podcast. His website is the best page in the universe, and he writes articles there about various things. And they used to be pretty good. Ubers are like $25 minimum. You'll Uber like twice a month with a price like that. First of all, you can get an Uber for much cheaper than that if you're not going too far. And second of all, fuck you. That's what I have to say. But Maddox, he's writing funny little articles. You know what? I like to do this. I don't think you've read
You
any
and
of
Albert.
shit. I don't care about Albert right now. Get out of here.
Nobody ever cares about Albert.
I don't think you've seen much of Maddox's writing. So let
No.
me share with you a a timeless classic. I like to, whenever I'm showing somebody Maddox for the first time, this is the one that I go to. So I'm gonna read you an article written by George Maddox Ozonian, and this is what made him famous. This style of writing. This article is called "Anyone Who Doesn't Like Onions is an Idiot."
What?
Anyone who doesn't like onions is an idiot. That's the name of the article.
Maddox sounds like a retard here.
Do you not like onions?
I don't like eating raw onions by themselves.
Well, that's not entirely what he's saying. He's just saying in general. But regardless, let me read the article here. Every time someone utters the phrase "I don't like onions," my face crumples up with hate that bubbles up from my pores that escapes through my cracked skin. If there was a service that specialized in punching a massive number of people, I would single-handedly keep them in business by paying for every last anti-onionite to get socked in the eyes. I like onions, because I'm an adult. You may think you don't like onions, but unless you have the taste perception of a dog, you're full of shit. That's because everything worth eating has onions in it. Don't believe me? Here's a list of foods that onion haters like, despite the fact that they contain onions. Pizza. Think your rancorous hatred of onions is sated by not ordering them on your pizza? What do you think gives the sauce its flavor, dipshit?
Tomato.
Burgers. I mean, partly. Burgers. Patties are seasoned with onion powder. Pull your head out of your ass. Stuffing. Onions make those giant clots of bread worth shoving into your ugly, hateful mouth. Onion rings. You're allowed to laugh, by the way. Maddox was funny back then. You're allowed to like this. I could tell you're like performatively not laughing because Maddox is a bad guy.
See, the fact that I'm just like trying not to laugh, and you're just like, yeah, you can laugh
He was
here.
good back then. Back then he had something. Onion rings. Inexplicably, some onion haters will order onion rings, despite the fact that onion rings are made with onions. Well, I don't mind onion rings. So fried onions get to keep their seat in the front of the bus in your world? You know what? Don't eat onions. We don't need your charity.
What the fuck?
Ramen. Wow, more onions. It's almost like onions are in everything. Where have I heard that? Oh yeah, right at the start of this fucking list. Fried chicken. Keep shoving that breading into your tooth hole, lard ass. The onion powder in the batter gives your taste buds purpose. Gravy, barbecue, coleslaw, ranch dressing, etc., etc. Onions, onions, onions. Onions make you feel unstoppable. Now this is where it gets really good. Everything has onions in it. I love onions with all my heart and soul. My girlfriend was giving me a piggyback ride to the grocery store the other day because I didn't want to scuff up my new shoes. She was huffing down the frozen pizza aisle when I overheard some hipster chick saying, "Ew, onions." I jumped off my woman's back and slid over like a smooth criminal. Her boyfriend shrieked, "Dude, what's your problem?" That's when a clerk tossed an onion at me from the produce aisle. I immediately dropped into a handstand and donkey kicked the onion into the hipster chick's yapper. She started chewing like a horse and crying tears of joy. She was so
What the fuck?
she was so happy that she gave me her number, which I drop kicked out of her hand and into her boyfriend's skull. She asked
What the
me.
fuck is this?
Now, this is the funniest part. It continues to be funny after this, but this line will live in my head rent free for all time. She asked me how she could ever repay me, and I gave her a stern look. She thought that look meant suicide. She was right. She said, "I know what I."
She
she
thought that meant look suicide. She was
she was
right.
right. She was right. She said, "I know what I have to do." Then she waddled over to the houseware aisle, grabbed a potato peeler, and started peeling her own face off. Then I
What
watched as she slowly ate her face for the next 15 minutes, piece by piece, until she bled to death. Her final words to me were, "Forgive me." I said no in sign language, and then she died. Okay, last paragraph. I'm sure Redox is complaining at this point because I'm doing so much reading. I'm just like now I'm doing fan theories about how Redox is gonna react to shit before I read the chat. By now the manager of the store had come by and said, "Sir, you have to leave." But I didn't hear anything because I was thinking about something else. He then got a mop and tried smacking me with it. I ducked like a drunken master, then sprung back up and slammed him in the chin with my butt. He started crying hot, salty tears, so I hopped back on my woman's back to ride her off into the sunset. Just then, a
What?
security. Well, because he was piggyback riding earlier.
No, I'm just more so like that was a slightly delayed reaction to the fact that he smacked him with his ass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just bashed him in the chin with his ass. Just then, a security guard jumped out in my way. Big mistake. I shook my head and, in one solid motion, reached into my pants, took out my balls, and then, in super slow motion, I swung them like a sling. and smashed his face. It caused severe fractures to the sinus, naso-orbital ethmoid, and lacrimal bones. He
What?
required he required extensive surgery and was never able to fully speak again. Onions rule.
What the fuck is this?
That was Maddox's Onion article.
This sounds like I can't even knock it because it's funny as hell, but this sounds so fucking retarded.
And like now you're gonna see a lot of moral grandstanding out of Maddox. I'm gonna talk about a lot of moral grandstanding out of Maddox. There's one more article I want to read to you just to see who we're dealing with here, who's about to be the biggest moral grandstanderer in the world. Let me see if I can find this fucking article. Did he delete it? I couldn't find it by Googling it.
He's the biggest moral grandstander in the universe, Riley. You gotta get it right.
True. Okay, where is the
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It better still be. He better not have deleted it because fucking Dick bullied him about it. This part I didn't plan. I planned a lot of other parts, but this part I did not. Did he really delete? Smart. That's smartphones. Okay, here it is. Okay. So in 2003, a little girl named Elizabeth Smart, or maybe it wasn't 2003. 2003 might have been when she escaped. Regardless, a little girl named Elizabeth Smart got kidnapped and then eventually escaped after being kidnapped and tortured or whatever for several months.
Okay.
This is a Maddox article entitled "Things Elizabeth Smart Could Have Done to Escape Her Captors." For those of you who don't know who Elizabeth Smart is, I envy your ignorance. She's the 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart. I don't need to pull up pictures. It's not particularly relevant. Um, what is relevant though is that so it's a picture of Elizabeth Smart. Under it, it says Elizabeth Smart. In between, Maddox has drawn in red a little arrow that says "not so." So he's calling this little girl that got kidnapped Elizabeth Not So Smart. And then who was stolen by this guy, and then it says criminal mastermind or aging hippie. The dude looks like a fucking pot smoker. I guess I will show it. I don't know why I'm too lazy to fucking show it. Because the window capture keeps not being where it's supposed to be. It's fucking annoying. Okay, there you go. So I guess I can also screen share to you because you
I am here.
are delayed. So you can't see it on the stream. There it is. So that's Elizabeth Not So Smart, and that's the criminal mastermind who captured her.
Or
Um,
aging hippie.
or aging hippie, who knows? Okay. I'm trying to stop the screen share and I can't. It won't let me. Okay, there we go. The rest of it is just text. I don't think there's anything else we need to see. Uh, God, resizing shit sucks. I tuned in a wild time. I had nights there. It's all wild times from here on out. So the nut job who kidnapped her calls himself Emmanuel. And I have to give him credit because Emmanuel is a much more compelling name for a cult leader than Brian. after after he became a suspect, his stepson was quoted as saying, "Emmanuel is capable of kidnapping a child." This begs the question, who isn't capable of kidnapping a child? I mean,
Yeah,
how
that is
much
a good question, Maddox. Who isn't capable of kidnapping a child?
how much effort could it take? Kids are stupid. Just look at how many of them die in fires every year. Who the hell dies in a fire? How fast does the flame move anyway? Every time I burn my brother's toys, it takes an eternity for the flames to spread. A common house fire spreads about half a mile per hour. Oh no, a fire? Jump through the flames, you pussy. If you don't make it, everyone's gonna think you're a dumbass anyway, so you might as well try. Besides, think how cool it would be if you ran out of the building screaming while you were on fire. Holy shit, that would rule. Chicks would be humping you left and right, assuming the burns don't scar your junk. I would like to remind you this is an article about a little girl who got kidnapped, and we will continue. Um, when Elizabeth when Elizabeth Smart was finally
If
quote
that was you, like, putting in your own context, or if that was
yes,
something Matt
that was me
actually
putting in my own context. When Elizabeth Smart was finally, quote, freed, her father appeared on TV giving
Daisy.
one blubbering speech after another, saying, I don't know what she's gone through, and I'm sure she's been through hell. I don't think he was referring to the pictures of Elizabeth hanging out at parties circulating on the internet, the video of her having a
Yes.
picnic at a park, or the hippie drum circle she was spotted at when he referred to, quote, hell. So because she was like taken around to things in an
Can you close
attempt
my
to
door back?
talking here. I thought you were reacting to me. Fucking mute yourself when you're talking to people in your background, you fucking cuck.
A dog walked in. Excuse me.
That applies to dogs too. People and dogs. Don't talk to them on the mic. So to help other children in the future, I've put together a list of things Elizabeth could have done to escape her captors. Number 1, walked away. It, it turns out that Elizabeth was held at knife point and was as close as 10 minutes away from her home at times throughout her 9-month ordeal. Here's an idea: walk home. Or if you're a gimp, change walk to hobble, and the same rules apply. Number 2, don't use wigs, sunglasses, and phony accents. If you're trying to break free, cut the bullshit and remove the disguise when you're in public. If your captor walks away from you at a party and starts drinking beer, it's a pretty safe bet he's not a prophet. What are you clinging on to? Number 3, don't hang out at parties. It kind of blows the credibility of the whole kidnapping story if you're seen at a party. Maddox, if the kidnapper decides to take you to the party, you don't really have a choice in the matter on account of the fact that you've been kidnapped.
But Riley, but Riley, you
Yeah,
could just walk away. You're at a party.
just walk away. It's not like he's gonna kill you or anything. Oh, wait. He will, because he's a fucking psycho criminal. Next thing you know, you have to make up some crazy shit about being brainwashed. Number 4, anything. Almost a year before Elizabeth Smart was found, there was a 7-year-old girl named Erica Pratt who was kidnapped, bound with duct tape around her arms, legs, and eyes, and left in the basement of a building. And it's just a picture of the little girl, little African American girl. Did she lie back and take it? Hell no. She broke a window, gnawed through her duct tape, and escaped. I mean, that's pretty based. She was back home the next day before her parents could enjoy the solitude of having one less kid around, and she's only 7 years old. So keep these pointers in mind if you're ever kidnapped and you'll turn up at a party somewhere or a glove compartment. So this is Mr. fucking Moral King Maddox roasting a little girl who got kidnapped. So I just wanted to establish that real quick. This is the same guy who wrote things Elizabeth Smart could have done to escape her captors. An article on the internet in which a little girl who was kidnapped is roasted. So that's who we're dealing with. This is Maddox. And now I know what you're thinking. Riley, all of this is hilarious. And you would be right. You would be entirely correct. Back then, Maddox was a funny guy. He wrote funny articles. He wrote a funny book. New York Times best-selling book, Alphabet of Manliness. Fucking great comedy book. Sold a lot. Maddox was the king of the world. And during his storied career, he moved to LA. And when he moved to LA, he was working with his book publisher, who was also working with another individual on publishing their book. And that was Dick Masterson, of course, and his book, Alphabet of Manliness. And, the label, the book people or whatever, they realized that they were two very compatible individuals, set up a meeting for them to meet, and they hit it off, and they became the best of friends. And they wrote TV pilots together. They sold one, but it never went to air because of production bullshit. They were running around doing stuff, hanging out, best of friends. But they were arguing a lot, and they were arguing over stupid, inane bullshit. So eventually, Dick was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna have these arguments with you anymore, Maddox, unless you make it a podcast." So they got together, and they recorded 6 test episodes of a podcast called "The Biggest Problem in the Universe," in which each of them would bring in 2 problems, anything ranging from like bug bites to genocide, like any degree of problem. They would each bring in 2, and everybody would vote as to which was the biggest each week. And then they scrapped those 6 episodes and didn't do the podcast for 2 years because Maddox is a insane perfectionist, and was not confident in the product, even those test episodes are pretty good. Like, they're not the best, but they're still funny. It's still the dynamic is still there. But the thing got scrapped for a while. But then finally in 2014, they started The Biggest Problem in the Universe for real. This podcast went on for just over 2 years, I believe. Yeah, because I can do it by math. And yeah, 104. Exactly 2 years, actually, kind of, because 104 would have been 2 years, and then it was just the 2 best of episodes and then the finale. So the traditional biggest problem in the universe did end after exactly 2 years of podcast. So 2 year show, Dick and Maddox, Sean the audio engineer, who is Dick's friend who knows how to do audio, and occasionally says jokes, and that's the show, and people love it. It blows up, millions of downloads. People can't get enough of Biggest Problem in the Universe. I believe it had over 6 million downloads at the time that it ended. So pretty big
Okay.
show. Dick and Maddox are doing the show together. But people start to notice as time goes on that they don't seem like they're as close as they used to be. Like, early in the show they would talk about like a party they both attended, and they would both have things to say about it, and like Dick would tell a story and Maddox would be able to add to it because he was there. And that stopped being the case slowly but surely. And everybody kind of noticed this a little bit, but they didn't really make us think about it because the show's still coming out and it's still good. But then one day, they wake up to their podcast feeds. I didn't plan this, but I kind of want to pull it up. Hold on.
You keep pulling up stuff that you didn't plan.
Because I planned poorly. I only planned for like 10 minutes, and then now I'm thinking of new things. Because I do want to play this clip just to bring the effect home. This is part of the showmanship, okay? Now, me talking about setting up the showmanship traditionally would not be part of the showmanship,
Yeah,
but I'm new here, okay?
you're new here. You gotta. Yeah, please excuse our new hire. He's still incredibly new to this.
I just work here, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
nobody just
you.
works.
Thank you, Spotify
This
Web
is your.
Player, for only loading 5 episodes at a time, so I have to click load more episodes 8 billion times.
This is our new hire, Riley. He doesn't just work here. He knows everything.
I know it all. I'm all knowing. I'm all seeing. I'm all being. I am the one. The one with the gun who gets respect up on the street. Alright, here we go. After I screen share it to you. I'll let the theme song play too because it's pretty dope. So if you've never heard this before, one of the best podcast theme songs ever, I think.
Welcome to the biggest problem in the universe, the show where we discuss every problem in the universe, from best of shows to no more shows. With over 6.7 million downloads, this is the only show where you decide what should or shouldn't be on the big list of problems. I'm Maddox, with me is Asterios and Sean, our audio engineer.
Hello.
Guys, welcome back. That intro problem was not a joke, unfortunately. This is the final episode of The Biggest Problem.
So out of nowhere, completely randomly, nobody knows anything is going on, besides maybe Dick and Maddox seem a little less close. The podcast is over. It's done. Maddox is here. He's telling us that it's the last show, but wait a minute. He introduced Sean, the audio engineer. He introduced common guest Asterios Kokonos, who's a great guy. Recently got married, by the way, so congratulations to Asterios. Fucking really happy for him. It seemed like a really nice ceremony. But yeah, so he introduced Sean. He introduced Asterios. I don't think, did he introduce Dick? I didn't hear him do it. I don't think he did.
Shit.
So this
Wait.
episode 107 of The Biggest Problem in the Universe, the finale of The Biggest Problem in the Universe. Okay, so it is a best of show also. So like there's a 20-minute bumper and then there's the best of shows. Obviously Dick appears in the best of section because he's on the podcast every fucking week forever. But in the actual section where it's Maddox, Asterios, and Sean in real time telling you that the podcast is over, Dick is not there. Not only is Dick not there, he's not mentioned one time.
Yeah, I was wondering where the screaming was.
Shut up.
No, I was talking about that yell that he does at the beginning of every episode that he records of anything.
He's not mentioned even one time. So everybody's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" because Maddox, he doesn't want to draw attention to it, I guess. But like, how did he not think that everybody was gonna immediately freak out? Because it's like Dick is half the show. How is he? Where is he? Why isn't he saying goodbye to us? What the fuck? What is going on? So, mystery rises, and eventually 2 new shows appear. Best Debate in the Universe, which is Maddox's new show, and The Dick Show, which is Dick's new show. And Maddox does not say shit, ever, for several years, I might add.
For several years.
For several years. Whereas Dick goes on air and he doesn't immediately get into the shit. Like, we all know how Dick talks about Maddox now. There was mutual respect back then, or at least he thought there was mutual respect. It's like, okay, we're entertainers, we've broken up. I'm gonna go on my show and I'm gonna be honest with everybody, but I'm not gonna get into details. And I think he put it very eloquently. I don't have the clip prepared, and I'm not gonna try to prepare the clip. But generally the premise is, it's like, hey, we had artistic differences, and we all know what that means. But because I am involved in this, I am not a reliable narrator, so I'm not gonna try to tell you who's right and who's wrong. But we had artistic differences, and now we can't work together anymore, and that's what's up. Very simple. He made it clear that there was a falling out, but didn't get into details. Honest, simple. And then 18 weeks go by without anything else happening. Except for Maddox steals the iTunes feed of Biggest Problem in the Universe, right? And that pisses everybody off. Because he just he deletes the old podcast, puts his new one on there. Everybody who's subscribed to The Biggest Problem in the Universe gets his gay new podcast in their feeds without any option. That's the scam. And a lot of people were pissed. They wanted to know where the old show was. Eventually Maddox archived it on a website. It was still annoying. Dick was not happy because that feed was half his and it was worth something. So he's not thrilled that Maddox just stole it.
Yeah.
But, they shit on Maddox a little bit for stealing the feed, and then they move on with their lives. The Dick Show used to just be like a regular fucking LA podcast comedy show before it became the story of a king hero defeating a fucking king cuck. And so 18 weeks go by. The only drama is that Maddox is still in the feed. And there's a couple other little things that come up, like it's starting to bubble. Like I believe before the 18-week thing that we're about to talk about was the incident where this is one of the most egregious things Maddox has ever done, and I don't think people talk about it enough. LA is a big city. If you're going to LA, you're probably going to want somebody who lives in LA to show you around and to like stay with so you know what's up.
Yeah.
There was a fan of the biggest problem in the universe and of Maddox and of Dick coming to town to LA, and she was slated to stay with Maddox. And obviously, she doesn't know the drama because nobody knows the drama yet. They just know that they've broken up. So she doesn't assume he has some insane vendetta. So she's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to stay at your house. I'm going to be on your podcast. And then on this day, I'm going to drive over to Dick's house and I'm going to do his podcast. Maddox then said she was no longer allowed to stay with him. And
Oh shit.
she ruined her whole LA trip because he couldn't deal with the fact that she wanted to go on Dick's podcast.
What the hell?
So that's fucking scummy and shitty. So Maddox is getting rightfully called out for all of this on the Dick show. But it's still mostly like they move on pretty quick. Cause Dick tries to maintain some sort of respect for Maddox, as does Asterios and everybody. But then 18 weeks into this arrangement, there is a video. We're gonna watch that video right now. And they all copy you? Copy who? And who's they all? What are hi the thinker, but what are you talking about though? So yeah, so here's this video that Maddox puts out. First of all, he doesn't even just post it on his channel. He makes an unlisted video. He posts it on his personal Facebook, where all of him and Dick's personal friends are. And also he posts a like a containment link on his website to his public Facebook, and he's like, "You want to know what happened to biggest problem in the universe? Go to this website. The password is hashtag Dick Lies." So you
Hashtag
put
dick
so you
lies.
put in hashtag Dick Lies, and it links you to this video. And we're gonna watch it right now. This is what started the war. In case you were curious, this video is what really began the whole feud in the state that it's in today. This is when shit got real.
Oh, hi. I was just
Maddox
writing my
looks like
book.
a pervert.
Guys, some of you
A little bit. He does a little bit. Also, I forgot to put the video on the screen, so bear with me. You didn't miss anything. It was
Like,
just the
I
biggest
love
problem
how like
logo.
the second Maddox shows up on the screen, my first response is Maddox looks like a pervert.
Maybe he is a pervert. I don't know.
I managed to curb the actual thought. That's not what the thought was, but I'm glad I curved it into that instead.
Okay, here we go.
You may be wondering what happened to the biggest problem in the universe. There have been a lot of lies and rumors and gossip told about it, so I may as well go ahead and tell you guys exactly what happened. The podcast didn't end because of creative differences. This is a conversation Dick was having behind my back. The same guy who came into my house.
Okay, so this is a conversation on Reddit because so right before biggest problem in the universe ended, famously, they were going to take a 2-week break. And during this 2-week break, Maddox decreed that the show would not go on and they would have best of episodes. Even though Dick was perfectly willing to host with a guest, Maddox didn't trust him to do so and refused to let him. So that's
Sounds like King Cook energy.
yeah, so that's the context of this Reddit conversation. So this is Dick talking to a fan. The fan says, "Why don't you do one with Tim Chains, which is a character from Biggest Problem in the Universe?" Maddox did one without you, which is true. Episode 77 did not feature Dick Masterson, and we will tell you why in a minute. But so why don't you do one Tim Chains? Maddox did one without you. Dick says, I pitched that and several other co-hosts. I was rejected. And the fan says, by who? Dick responds, King Cuck Maddox. Same guy who forbade the Titanic bit and edits out shit he doesn't like. All true. Maddox ruined the show by over editing it that we didn't notice at the time because the show was so good, but it could have been even better if he wasn't brutalizing it for no reason.
Yeah.
And also he broke Dick's bits because he was way too concerned about like the logistics of the voting and like eventually because he doesn't want to lose because he's Maddox because he's fucking, oh, look at me, I'm Maddox, I'm perfect, I could never lose.
Bring in Maddox ego as a problem. Ayo.
So once Dick started winning, Maddox suddenly started saying it wasn't a contest and would become very irate whenever Dick would imply that it is a contest. And Dick would have bits that he would play when Maddox lost as like a as a funny thing. In fact, I have that clip prepared. Here's one of the things he played. The other one is a Titanic thing, and it features a copyrighted instrumental, so I don't want to get in trouble.
And the
But
Titanic thing is absolutely fucking hilarious.
it's great. I promise. If you look up there's compilations of the Titanic bit on YouTube. It's the best bit. So there's a song.
We have watched this bit several times. It's great.
Yeah, so there's a song. There's the Titanic song. It's "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion. But it's about how Maddox is an asshole and how his problems suck, and
How he's a
that
king cuck.
that was inspired by the actual Titanic bit, which is one of my favorite podcast bits in history. Where because Maddox like made this big like, oh, I'm never gonna watch Titanic. Titanic is stupid. It's so stupid that Titanic was so popular and I'll never watch it. So what Dick does is he makes Maddox watch 30 seconds of Titanic whenever he loses. And like Maddox won't look, but he like narrates it to him, and it's really funny. Maddox, there's a submarine. It's so funny.
Maddox, there's the Titanic.
The boat is sinking, Matt. They didn't get to the boat sinking, but
Oh damn.
I think I don't think they
Maddox,
got more
she's
than
nude.
I don't think they got more than like 5 minutes into the movie, but it's
Damn.
pretty good.
Damn. Would have been really funny if they had gotten to the paint me like one of your French girls bit and Maddox just got really fucking into it.
Yeah, now we'll watch. But anyway, let's find out what happened to the biggest problem in the universe, shall we? Or I'll finish reading this conversation real quick. I get he's your mate and all, but he sounds like a total fuckbag. He made a show without you, but apparently it's wrong for you to do the same. He actually seems to think the show won't work without him, when it would work great. Bring in Maddox's ego as a problem. I thought you were saying that. I thought that was a Crow royalty joke, you son of a bitch. I thought you were actually being funny. You stole that from this Reddit man.
See, I was waiting on you to like catch up because I had been reading ahead slightly, and I just saw bringing Maddox's ego as a problem. I'm just like, ayo.
We're not. And then Dick says, this is the big line, of course. This is what Maddox is about to complain about. We're not friends. I can't stand the guy. I do the show for the fans and the Skrilla. People seem to like it.
The Skrilla?
Which money. It's a slang term for money. Okay. So this is like a shock to Maddox somehow. Even though they had not been friends in a while, obviously. But Maddox likes to frame things differently than they actually were. And at this point, Dick has, I think, made it actually clear to Maddox that he doesn't give a fuck about him as a person, and like they've had this conversation directly, and still Maddox is like, oh, he's talking about me behind my back. What a fucking king cuck. But does not even come close to the worst thing in this video, so let's keep going.
Year after year, pretending to be my friend, in his own words, said that he was only doing the podcast for fans and for money.
No shit.
After the podcast ended, he said that I deleted the website. Not true. I created most of the content on the website. Why the fuck would I delete it? Dick's job was to maintain WordPress, and there were dozens of plugins that weren't being updated. He was negligent, so I converted the old site to static HTML, which is fast.
Guys, he didn't update the plugins. Guys, I might have to change how I feel about this guy. He didn't update the plugins. That's such a terrible
What
thing
the
to have
fuck does that
done.
mean?
I don't fucking know, man. Fucking nerd shit.
Faster and more secure. I even paid for it myself out of my pocket. The old RSS feed costs money, guys, and can't stay up forever, so I uploaded all the files to SoundCloud so you can listen to them indefinitely. You're welcome. He said he emailed me about this and I didn't
Wait, is
respond.
the SoundCloud still
So I
up?
shoot off.
Yeah, oh, there's still a feed of Maddox's version of Biggest Problem.
I kind of want to go watch this just to see.
Well, I mean, you can just listen to, if you look up Biggest Problem in the Universe Uncut, that's Dick's version of the feed without all of Maddox's shitty edits. And
Fair
then,
enough.
yeah, that's the good one.
Fair enough.
I fire off an email to Maddox. Hey man, I got a big problem with this. Here's the feed.
What, did I skip something?
And can't stay up forever, so I uploaded all the files to SoundCloud so you can listen to them indefinitely. You're welcome. He said he emailed me about this and I didn't respond.
So I fire off an email to Maddox.
So, is Maddox retarded? Because Dick's not talking about the website, he's talking about the iTunes feed.
Yeah.
What are you fucking on about, Maddox?
Hey man, I got a big problem with this. Here's the feed link. So I get no response to that.
Huh, that's weird because I definitely responded.
So I get no response to that.
Dick's been withholding financial records for me for quite some time, so I responded to him and asked him to send me those records. His refusal to send me these forms is suspicious.
It's not the right name of the form, by the way. Not
It's
a
a
W-9. Yeah, a W-9 is something about your social security number or some shit. Maddox is retarded. Anyway.
Yes.
Suspicious, especially
That refusal
considering the
established
fact that I found discrepancies in his accounting in the past. Then he started lying about things he didn't even need to lie about. He started telling people he didn't know anything about my new network. Huh, my bad. I guess I should have sent him something like an email on April 5th, going into detail with a bullet-pointed list and a strategy. Oh wait, I did.
Maybe he just doesn't give a fuck, Maddox. And he didn't read your stupid email.
Maybe,
Maybe because your podcast network was a bad idea the whole time, and you only ever had 3 shows on it. You fucking idiot. Maybe it was a little more than 3, but none of them were, like, popular or good. Besides, I like the best debate of the universe personally, because I still like Maddox's style of comedy. Not anymore, because he's lost all ability to be funny, because Dick Masterson has owned him so hard. But even like best debate, I enjoyed, despite the fact he was definitely deep into his scumbag era during its run. But anyway.
Then I found out that he was telling fans, without my knowledge, that it was okay to steal the bonus episodes. So I uploaded them all for free. Guys, we definitely had creative differences on the show, but it's misleading to say that I forbade the Titanic bit. That was one of my favorite bits on the show. I simply asked him not to tie it to the week.
No, it wasn't, Maddox. That's cope. That's so cope. You got so genuinely upset all the time about the Titanic bit. You're coping, you're seething, and it has to be tied to the votes. That's the whole bit. You retard.
Weekly voting because it would lead to a large number of fake votes in the database, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh my god. There's fake votes on thebiggestproblemintheuniverse.com. We have to do something about this. This is the most important election of our lives, Co-Royalty.
What?
And Maddox is losing, so the votes must be fake.
So I
This
asked
sounds like
him
a
to
Trump
find another
situation.
A little bit.
Just a
way to
little
do the
bit.
bit on the show. In fact, I even sent him an email last December suggesting he bring the bit back. So to wrap this up, there are definitely two sides to every creative difference, but there aren't two sides to this.
He said you can go ahead and force a Titanic bit that has nothing to do with the votes if you want. Great, thanks, Maddox.
He lied about the reason the podcast ended. He lied about me deleting the website. He lied about the financial forms. He lied about the network. He lied about the bonus episode.
Okay, let's go down the list. Did not lie about the reason the podcast ended. Very clear and honest about that.
Yes.
We're not. He never said anything about the website. It was the feed, which you did steal. The financial forms. You asked for the wrong forms, and you asked for them in reply to a completely unrelated email. He doesn't give a shit about your podcast network because it was a stupid idea all along. So he didn't read this stupid email. Uh, the bonus episodes thing, it showed it on the screen briefly, the Reddit post. But it was somebody like asking if they could pirate the bonus episodes for some reason. I don't know, there was a particular reason. And Dick's response was just, "What am I, the copyright police?" That's Maddox's he said you could steal the bonus episodes, which I guess he kind of did. But like it's not like he was like, "Yes, pirate them." He was like, "It's not my fucking job to stop you."
Now, what I will say is I do find the I'm gonna call it the nickname that he's given Dick in that slide, which is Baby Dick, very funny.
It's better than Fanboy, which is his new one.
Oh,
Baby Dick's a little better.
Baby Dick is so much better.
He lied about the Titanic bit.
No, he didn't.
And he's
No, he didn't.
unprofessional and he talks behind people's backs. People.
It's on a public Reddit thread.
Exactly.
How behind your back is that?
Riley on Twitter tagging him, and then Riley bitching because I was talking behind his back.
Yeah, it's stupid.
People have asked me if there's any chance of reconciliation. Absolutely not. I don't deal with Baby Dick. Guys, it sucks that the podcast ended, but it's time to move on. I've already started an awesome new podcast, and most people love it. Some people don't, and that's okay. You're allowed to have bad taste.
Okay. Now, if the video ended right there, it would just be kind of petty, you know? Like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. They would make fun of it on the show. They would say he's retarded, and they would move on. You may notice there's still a minute left in the video. Let's see what he says.
Oh, and one other thing. He used to complain about me editing the episodes. The reason I edited them is because he would say things that were incompatible with my values.
Really upsets me that it's that not that responsibility isn't put on her. And we're telling people this.
I do want to add something just to the last point you made, which is they said that we should stop telling women that it's their responsibility to protect themselves.
It is.
Well, to an extent, yes.
100%
No,
it is.
Dick, it's not.
Dude,
you're
yes,
a fucking
it is.
bullshit. No,
No.
if you pass out drunk at a party or whatever, you shouldn't expect to get raped.
Yes, you fucking should.
Oh, dude, big foul. No, you can't say that's fucking bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit.
Okay. Anyone with any level of comprehension of information that they've heard in their ears would understand that what Dick is saying is that women need to keep themselves safe and that they need to assume at all times that the worst is out for them and act accordingly for their safety. Maddox is presenting it as if he's saying that rape is cool.
What the hell?
And in case you don't think this is serious, his show's own message board maintains a rape list.
Okay. So this is 8chan, a website that no longer exists because it was full of racism and child porn and terrible things. But on 8chan, you could make your own like board. And there was a fan board for the Dick Show. There was a Dick Show 8chan board.
Yeah.
And at some point, a fan, completely unrelated to Dick Masterson, Dick Masterson does not run the Dick Show 8chan thread, it is a fan thing. Somebody posts this thing. The title of the post is "Who are a list of worthless cum dumpster gutter sluts who you think need to get raped?" And originally, the thread was full of Bugs Bunny in drag, Hillary Clinton, like jokes, like funny, silly shit. Until a individual named Mr. Burgers, a gigantic Maddox fan, who is like schizophrenic or something, and has like breakdowns all the time. Um, he does and says things that are fucked up and bad because he's fucked up in the head. Starts posting like real women who Maddox knows to this list, and that is where Maddox is getting this. He is presenting this as if it is an official Dick Show 8chan board. Dick has approved this whole thing, and it's all Dick's doing. When in reality, it is a fan board where people were making a joke, and then one of Maddox's fans came in and made it not funny anymore.
Okay. That sounds retarded.
And the video just ends with like a silent scroll of the rape list. Now, this is retarded. Anybody with any level of comprehension of the world would understand that this is retarded.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Dick and Maddox live in LA, and people in LA are not known for having a grasp on the reality of the world. So, unfortunately, Maddox did this to attempt to get Dick canceled and to have him lose opportunities, and it was very successful. Dick's career in LA comedy, he was an improv comedian. He worked at UCB, which is a well accredited improv comedy theater in LA. He got completely canceled. Kicked out of UCB. All of his LA comedy friends stopped talking to him. This video, eventually his career became better for it, but at this stage in his life, this video ruined Dick Masterson's career.
Sounds like a cuck move.
A very cuck move. Now, why would Maddox do this?
Because he's a cuck?
Why would Maddox be so mad at Dick as to try to convince people in their friend circle that he was a rape apologist so that he couldn't work at UCB theater anymore? Why would Maddox do this?
Maddox wanted his job, and Maddox is a cuck.
Well, Maddox already had a job at UCB too, so that's not what it is. So why did he do this? Well, on the week of episode 77, or 76 rather, of The Biggest Problem in the Universe, Dick and Maddox attend the same wedding. At this wedding, another person that is at the wedding is a young lady who we now know as 80s Girl. 80s Girl is Maddox's ex from multiple years prior to this. And Dick comes to this wedding, meets up with 80s Girl at the wedding, and they leave the wedding together. Maddox finds out about this and starts melting down and blowing up her phone and blowing up his phone and obsessively texting and talking about how like Dick's a drunk driver and he's concerned for her safety. When in reality he's concerned about the fact that Dick's definitely gonna fuck her and he's about to get it's not even really getting cucked because he has no claim to this girl. It's been years. But to him, he has been cut. In his mind, he is cut, obviously, because he sweared a life of vengeance on Dick Masterson because this happened. So they leave the wedding together. They fuck. The next day, Dick talks to Maddox on the phone, And Maddox sits him down. He's like, "Listen, dude, I need to know. I need to know if you fucked her, because if you did, I can't do the show with you anymore. I won't be able to stomach it. I need you to be honest with me. Did you fuck her?"
That's like fucking your homie's ex, though.
Well, people have different policies for that type of thing. I think there's an expiration date. I think it's reasonable to say there's an expiration date, and it had been years.
Now, keep in mind, the person that just said this, legitimately stole a girl from their best friend.
You did that?
Yes.
Well, you're a scumbag.
I was trying to save my friend from catching a case.
What?
So this girl had lied to my friend about her age, and I found out.
So your friend was
And
about to be a pedophile, and you were like, "Nah, bro, I'll be the pedophile for you."
no, because I was actually this girl's age. My
Okay,
friend had
okay.
just turned 19. My friend had just turned 19, and this girl was lying about her age, and I knew she was lying about her age. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not letting my best friend catch a case
Why not
when
just
this
like
girl is
tell
my
him
age.
that? Why would you? Because like it
I
sounds
did,
like
and he steady went, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I sat there and I just went, no, you're not. This bitch is mine now. And then proceeded to take her from him.
it sounds like this person needs to be legally punished for their carnal desires to fuck teenagers. You should have called the police.
Nah, because it was legit just him being a dumbass. It was him being a
Okay.
dumbass. It was him being a dumbass.
We'll see how the comment section feels about that one. But fucking so yeah.
She was like 16-ish, or at least about to turn 16. I don't remember quite
Enough,
how old.
enough. Let's not dig the hole more. But so he asked Dick if they had sex. Dick is thinking in his mind about the fans and the Skrilla and how much disappointment there will be in the community if the podcast suddenly ends. So he says, "No, I did not." And he lies to Maddox. So Maddox accepts this and is like, "Okay, good, thank you. We can keep doing the show, but I need a break from you. So I'm gonna do episode 77 without you." And Dick's like, "That's retarded, but okay, whatever."
Okay.
So the podcast goes on. Episode 77 mysteriously does not feature Dick Masterson, but then episode 78 does, and things go on, and Dick is on. Dick is on every episode of Biggest Problem except for episode 77 and 107, obviously. But so that's what happened. Dick fucked Maddox's ex from like half a decade prior, and Maddox was so upset about that, even though he had a girlfriend at the time. It's not like he's some like sad single incel that like is sad because he blew his one chance and Dick came in and stole that one chance. He hadn't been with this girl in years, and he had a girlfriend. How do you think the girlfriend felt when he's like crashing out so hard about his ex? It's not a good thing. That relationship didn't last, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, figured.
But so that's the situation. Dick finally spills the beans on this eventually because Maddox pushes him too far. And now we know what's going on. Maddox King Cuck literally got cucked, kind of. And
But not really.
he's so upset about it that he now has to destroy people's careers. And he's acting behind the scenes, telling people that Dick's a bad guy, even before all of this. And then he does the rape list video. Then he throws Asterios under the bus, and like anybody who associates with Dick, he has to throw under the bus. And it's a whole situation. Now, eventually, of course, as famously with this case, This goes to court. Maddox decides because the Dick Show becomes the let's bully Maddox show because Maddox came in and fucking destroyed his career. So Dick was like, I'm punching back and I'm never gonna stop punching. Like that's one of my favorite Dick isms that he said once. This is one of my favorite quotes. I apply this to a lot of internet conflict myself. Don't hit first, hit second, and never stop hitting.
Okay.
So like don't strike people for no reason, but if someone strikes you, let them have it.
Yes.
So the Dick Show becomes let's make fun of Maddox. People are writing parody songs. Stereos makes a whole Christmas album where it's just like classic Christmas songs, but they're about how Maddox is a cuck instead of being about Christmas.
I need to go find this Christmas album. Thank
It's
you for
called
informing me.
It's called Cuxmas Carols. It currently exists in the Library of Congress because it charted on Billboard.
Hold on.
When things chart on like billboards, they put them in the Library of Congress. Cuxmas Carols charted as a comedy album on Billboard, so it is in the Library of Congress. There is a Christmas album about how Maddox is a cuck
Is it
in
not
the
on Spotify?
Library of Congress. No, it's only on iTunes.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I'm sure you can also find it on YouTube. But regardless, so all this is happening. Everybody's making fun of Maddox. Maddox
Not on
decides
iTunes.
it's not
Not anymore, apparently.
Cuxmas Carols.
Yeah.
Oh, oh shit. Well, it's in the Library of Congress. You can look for it there, but let me see if I can find it on YouTube. I started typing Library of Congress into YouTube because I'm thinking about it in my brain. Cuxmas Carols. Shit, this might be lost media. I'm gonna have to look into this. But
I'm like really mad if this is lost media because I want to listen to this album. Go to the Library of Congress.
yeah, but let's book a trip to the Library of Congress. We're gonna head there. Or to find Cuxmas Carols. But yeah, so they're all doing this, and Maddox decides that somehow all of this is defamation, and he's gonna take it to court. Not only is he gonna take them to court for defamation, he's taken everything to court. He sues. Hold on.
Wait, hold on. The Christmas Carols isn't even like in the digital collections on the Library of Congress. What the hell?
Don't worry about the Library of Congress. They're just we're moving on from that. But so he sues Dick Masterson, Asterios Kokonos, Dick Masterson's company that he is a partial owner of, the place where Asterios works, Patreon, some customer service rep from Patreon specifically, and a guy who plays a character making fun of him on the Dick Show. A guy named Tab Burt. He did a character called Mad Cucks, which was
Mad Cucks.
very funny. And he was named in the lawsuit. He was never served, thankfully, so he never actually had to deal with being sued. But everybody else did. There were so many stupid parties in this lawsuit. And Maddox, I believe this was a mistake, but even if it was, even if we look at it the most charitably, it's still retarded. So the way the lawsuit is phrased makes it seem like Maddox is suing for $20 million per party for a total of $400 million.
Jesus.
Now, Maddox claims this was a misinterpretation and he was actually trying to sue for 20 million total, which is still insane.
Yes.
Which is still fucking bonkers for this type of case. Even Stuttering John's not that retarded. He sued for 600,000. Still too much, but not 20 million. So Maddox does a lawsuit, and he loses the lawsuit, obviously.
As he should.
And I have a song to play about that I said I was going to play earlier, and then we got distracted.
Jesus.
Maddox lost, folks. It's a phrase that we all love. It's a phrase we all love to say. And it's a phrase that describes how Maddox did in his lawsuit. So, happily ever after. There's some complications. It fucks Asterios' life up for a little while. Maddox is a scumbag. He's a complete scumbag. He knew. I don't think he knew he was gonna lose. Actually, never mind. He's too insane.
Yes, he is too insane.
But the fact that he even did it is scumbaggery, and he needs a reality check and to go back to Utah and work at a grocery store. Uh, but so yeah, Maddox loses the lawsuit, and that's it. The Dick Show continues to make fun of Maddox because it's funny. It's everybody's favorite bit. They make fun of clips of his show. They make fun of his public appearances. It's a whole bit. We're all making fun of Maddox because he's a fucking sue happy sack of shit scumbag. And for years, he says absolutely nothing. All of his shit he does to Dick and Asterios and everybody is all private. In the public, Maddox does not say a single word. Not a single word ever. Until one day in 2023, Maddox posted a video. What is the name of the video? Okay, so the video. Hold on. I have a clip of the video, but I don't have the video itself. Keep forgetting that Maddox Batson is gonna come up first. So there's a beloved YouTuber named Justin Wang, who everybody loves, great guy, and he's appeared on the Dick Show before, and he's Dick's friend. So suddenly, Maddox posts this video, this 55-minute video, entitled, "Is Justin Wang a plagiarist and a hack, or just a plagiarist?" So the point of this video, at the beginning, is he's talking about Justin Wang, and his argument is that Justin Wang does not properly cite his sources, and that makes him a plagiarist, so he's bad and everybody should hate him. But also, he's been involved with the hate campaign. And, everybody sees this. They're like, okay, he's speaking in vagaries. He's not going to say anybody's name. He's talked about vagaries like this before. He's never going to name anybody. It's going to be all fucking, it's just going to be about how Justin Wang got his speaking engagement canceled or whatever was the main point. And then this happens. And I cannot tell you the way the world changed forever and the way that I fucking freaked out when I heard this, okay? He has not talked about anyone associated with the lawsuit or with Dick this entire time. And
He
then
not only
suddenly
got involved in the smear campaign, but at one point he ingratiated himself with one of the...
Oh, hold on. I'm ruining it by not putting it on the screen.
Oh wait, have we watched this video before? I think we have.
You've probably watched at least part of it. So this video gets posted. I start watching it right when it gets posted. And then this happens.
Not only got involved in the smear campaign, but at one point he ingratiated himself with one of the two main ringleaders of this harassment campaign and former moderators of this group, a guy by the name of Asterios Kokonos.
I freaked out. This was crazy. Unprecedented. He had not uttered the name Asterios Kokonos since the last time Asterios Kokonos was on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. Like, it's crazy.
In fact, at one point, Justin even became friends with his former moderator, a person who I eventually ended up having to take to court. He not only got...
I just wanted to include that part because of the way he phrased having to take to court, as if it wasn't a bullshit lawfare lawsuit that you lost. But in fact, Maddox, he's got his own interpretation of the lawsuit. Let's say we hear Maddox's side of the story, huh? What is Maddox's recapping of events? Let's find out, shall we?
Dear Maddox.
Okay. So after the Justin Wang video, Maddox goes all the way into it. During the Justin Wang video, he does not name Dick Masterson once, so everybody assumed he just never would. And also, I just want to say one thing real quick. Let me make myself big for this, because this is an important point that I need to make.
Opening stream now?
One of the worst, well, it's just me. That's all you're going to see is me. One of the worst things Maddox has ever done, maybe the worst, it's not the worst, but it's up there, is make his angle Asterios. Asterios has been at it. Dick still talking about Maddox pretty much every week. Asterios has been out of this game for years. He's not involved with any of this shit anymore. He hasn't said the name Maddox in years. He's just doing a silly podcast with his wife about Garfield and Family Guy and shit. Like, he's the most innocent man on the planet. And like, I understand that you still have these feelings about him. I wouldn't have been upset if you had included him in the ultimate documentary, but the fact that your first person you tackle is Asterios, that you targeted Asterios in particular for this video without even getting into Dick Masterson, is fucking scummy. Asterios wants nothing to do with any of this shit. He hasn't been friends with Dick in years, and Maddox decides he's the one that he has to go after first. Fucking sack of shit. Makes my goddamn skin crawl.
Also, yes, Redox, I am in fact autistic.
Have I been missing chat this whole time?
Yes.
Has there been chat?
Yes.
Why did my chat freeze?
Okay, so the last one that you read off was Riley will be 31 bumming a ride, to which I responded to that.
That's not the last
then
one
it was that was the last one you read out loud, yeah. Then it's why is Maddox a cuck? I don't know the lore. Did he really literally get cucked? I agree with that. Onions.
Okay, no, they haven't chatted since the last time I read a chat, because the last time I read a chat was the Thinker saying, and they all copy you, and me asking what the fuck he means by that. So, yeah, I'm caught up with chat. I don't even know, I can't even see the chat you're responding to right now.
There was...
Because it was from fucking 30,000 years ago.
It was 3 above the Thinker. It was, in general, Crow is autistic for sure from Redox.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, I think I got copyright claimed, folks.
Oh shit.
It didn't seem like the video's down, but probably got claimed. So now Boogie's gonna get all my ad revenue if I'm ever famous. But aw shit, here we go again. Bro, don't make me think there's somebody in the chat, you fucking shit.
Worth it.
So yeah, let's hear about Maddox's take on the lawsuit. This is the This is a long video. I don't want to pause it every 5 seconds. We can pause if we have thoughts, but try to contain it unless it's really good, Crow. You have a tendency of getting too much into minutia. We got 14 minutes of this shit to go through. So this is when fans become stalkers. This is his follow-up. It's a whole big documentary about Dick Masterson. It was originally 1 3-hour video that has since been fucking struck from YouTube because Maddox put the uncensored N-word on screen for fucking 2 minutes straight. Retard. So, because he's trying to talk about how Dick's fans say the N-word to him, but he doesn't censor the N-word. He's just showing it. But let's hear what Maddox has to say about the lawsuit.
I'm your biggest fan.
For over 20 years, I've run.
I'm sorry, I know I'm pausing already. This fucking pretentious ass intro. The fucking Maddox Marvel logo and like all the cheering for Matt. Like he's so full of himself. But he's like the most pathetic man on the planet. It's fascinating.
On one of the longest running humor sites on the internet. I've published books, worked on TV shows, and even video games. Along the way, I've met thousands of fans. Most of them have been awesome, but some, unfortunately, have become obsessed and tried to get
hold
into
on.
my
Is that
personal
image
life.
of a girl kissing his fucking hand? What?
Yeah, he made people kiss his hand because he's the king.
King Cuck.
True.
But some, unfortunately, have become obsessed and tried to get into my personal life. This is the story of what happens when fans become stalkers.
Just real quick, his narrative now is that Dick Masterson was some massive super fan of him who stalked him and snuck his way into his life. Dick was vaguely familiar with Maddox's writing. He wrote Maddox an email once asking if he would plug his website on Maddox's website. Like he wanted Maddox to put a link for menarbetterthanwomen.com on the page. So thus he was like nice and gracious and he was like, I'm a big fan. Could you give me a link? Like he's schmoozing. He's LA schmoozing. And based on this one exchange, Maddox's narrative now is that Dick is some massive super fan, and he calls him fanboy throughout this whole video. This is so now it's split in chapters. I didn't finish that thought. It was a 3-hour video. Got taken down. Now it's split in chapters. Some of the chapters are missing. This is chapter 13, the lawsuit. Is what we're watching today. There's so much more of this. There's a ridiculous amount more of this.
I find it really funny that menarbetterthanwomen.com is still up.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's still like got the buy the book like link and shit. I'm half tempted to
Women.com. It probably just leads to the Amazon link. It probably still works.
You know, I'm checking the Amazon link now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna order this book for you.
He wrote on this website in 2020. I already have the book. He wrote on this website in 2023. What the fuck?
Apparently.
Okay, I gotta read that article later. I didn't know that existed. But yeah, it's still up. Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome for letting you know that it's still up because initially I had tried to see if there was a website called womenarbetterthanmen.com. See if there was an anti-Dick Masterson somewhere. But no, there's not. And then I went to Men Are Better Than Women just to see if it was still up, and yes, it is.
Pussy master daughter.
No, it's Pussy Mistress Daughter.
Okay. All right, let's find out what Maddox has to say about the lawsuit.
Maddox. After all the stalking, threats, fraud, doxing, invasion of privacy, extortion, theft, and damages caused by this stalker, you might be wondering, why hasn't there been a
you see, I'm not gonna
Okay, King Cuck.
I'm not gonna say the fan base is perfect. Some of that is true, but a lot of it is overblown.
Meanwhile,
And also,
the
you
most
deserve it,
stupid
you
person
fucking
in the
sue
fan.
happy sack of shit, piece of shit, ruined Asterios' life for years. I hope you fucking rot. So I don't give a shit what the fans are doing to you, first of all. And second of all, you're bullshitting a lot of it.
Meanwhile, I'm just looking at this and going, okay, King Cuck.
Lawsuit, in part because for over 21 years and all the projects I've worked on, all of these events, I've met and worked with thousands of people and I've never had a problem with any of them. That is until I met this stalker. This stalker, on the other hand, has been involved in at least 5 legal threats or lawsuits in the last 6 years alone. He went right from his old company that ended in a legal mess right into a podcast with me that also ended in a legal mess.
Why did it end in a legal mess, Maddox? Who caused that? Who did that? I
Whose
don't know.
fault?
He is the only common denominator. Lawsuits follow him around almost as much as he follows me around. And true to form, the first legal threat actually came from Fanboy when he tried to sue me for releasing my 3.5-minute video. And so did the second legal threat. Fanboy is the most litigious.
He never, quote, tried to sue Maddox. He just, like, explored that at the beginning because he was obviously being defamed, and he ultimately did not go through with it. So, to even bring it
Because
up
Dick
is
actually has
retarded.
balls.
Person I've ever met. The guy who pretends to be a free speech warrior immediately clutches his pearls and runs to lawyers to try to silence me after my one and only public statement in response to his months of slander and harassment. And I know the litigious crybaby bitch is going to try to silence me and remove this video as well. And of course, after his first legal threat,
Why would he even consider such a thing, Maddox? You know how much money this video right here made Dick? Because it's a lot of money. And he knew that. This video that you think he was going to try to get taken down, this was Christmas coming early for Dick. You could not have done anything better for Dick. You could not have done a bigger favor for Dick Masterson than to make this video.
he actually did escalate to the courts when I tried to protect my brand from piracy and unauthorized use. The month after my podcast ended, one of my Stalker's moderators and contributors named Hayden Lewick asked him if it was okay to pirate my premium content. These were bonus episodes that were sold to
all me, all fucking, yeah. Nobody else matters. There's a part earlier in this video that I didn't clip where he tries to make the argument that it's his show. Maybe that's here. No, because I think there's a separate section for the trademark. Let's just keep watching it. I'm gonna make sure because I don't want to explain what Maddox is about to explain.
Monetize my old podcast. My stalker let him pirate this content without my permission, effectively forfeiting his copyright and the ability to monetize them in the future. Hayden then hosted my premium content illegally and said that a lot of people were downloading it. This was theft of my intellectual property, and Fanboy allowed it. But when it comes to his own intellectual property, Fanboy is a giant fucking hypocrite and doesn't allow anyone to share his premium content, which is to say, my premium content, since they're just stories I told him years ago that he retells poorly.
Maybe I'll tell that story in the next bonus episode.
And if that wasn't bad enough, in late 2016, Fanboy was planning on recording new episodes of my...
Okay. I'm gonna explain because I don't think he is. I think that's a different section. So Maddox argues that it's his show because he, quote, put in 90% of the sweat equity. His argument is that he did more work, so the show is more his. Dick's response was very simple. I did 90% of the comedy, you fuck. And it's true.
Yes.
So it's both of your shows, and you're retarded for not understanding that. And you lost this too. Dick, the biggest problem in the universe is a show that exists currently. You are not on it. Dick is. You do not own it. Dick does.
Yep.
My old podcast without my authorization. I believe he did this to either force me back into business with him or to provoke a response out of me so he'd have more excuses to talk about me, since it was the biggest draw to his show and a desperate last attempt to cling on to any sort of relevance. But since he was planning on using my brand to record new episodes without my authorization, and because he publicly allowed people to steal my premium content, I had to file a trademark to protect my brand to stop it, and it's my right to do so. This stalker was itching for a legal confrontation, because then he could turn it into a...
It's not your... I'm sorry, I paused that not quick enough, but it's not your right to do so. It's not just your
Nope,
trademark.
because it's equally owned.
Fucking kill yourself, Maddox.
big public spectacle like he did with the restraining order. He knew that even if he lost, that he could drag this on in court forever to produce content from the ensuing lawsuit. Then he'd use the funds from the smear campaign to keep fueling the lawsuit. It was a lose-lose situation for me, and he was ecstatic to try to sue me, saying, "Gentlemen, start your lawsuits." Fanboy tried to argue in court that we were equal partners, despite the fact that I put in 90% of the...
Oh, it is... Oops. I should have given him longer. Sorry.
Sweat equity. I built the brand and image. I exclusively bought and paid for the domain. I booked our live shows, did all the marketing, moderation, editing, and brought in most of the audience. In fact, the concept was based on my website, and even the title was inspired by this chapter in my book, Crappy Children's Artwork. This was written...
None of this matters. None of what you're saying, Matt. Not a single bit of it matters. The show is you and Dick. Nobody cares who bought the website. Nobody cares where the name came from. They care about the show. And the show is you and Dick. And thus it is 50-50. You fucking retard.
Written and published in 2011, years before the podcast. It was always understood that the podcast was my brand and it was marketed as such. My name and likeness were used in over 39 of the thumbnails, and there were 0 of Fanboy alone and only 3 in conjunction with me. And if there is still any doubt that it was always my brand, we established it multiple times in writing. In fact, here's an early email chain where I discuss branding the show so it's consistent with my best page in the universe image, and Fanboy agreed. And here's another email I sent to Fanboy and our mutual manager at the time, making it clear that I would retain ownership if we licensed my brand to an animation company. And another email from...
That was to an animation company, you retard.
Yeah, the animation company and everybody involved assumed you were speaking on behalf of both of you. You were speaking on behalf of the show, which is you and Dick. Also, I'd like to add the this weird spite thing. It's not a spite thing, I guess. I get why he's doing it, but I just find it a little bit funny that, you know, Dick doesn't like people throwing his real name around. It's Dax, I'm sorry. That's it. So here's this email where every name is censored except for Dax. Cute, Maddox.
Years before, where I spelled out and established my brand to him and an executive we were working with. Nobody objected. And besides doing 90% of the work, I also created many of the thumbnails myself, which I was never compensated for, so I owned them. Everyone else who created artwork for the show was paid except for me. So when I discussed it with Fanboy...
Weren't you making money off of the show itself?
Not entirely your show. This does not make it entirely your show, Maddox. But it is half your show. So you shouldn't have to be compensated separately for the thumbnails. This is stupid.
This is retard behavior.
Well, he's not saying he wants money for the thumbnails. He's saying because he wasn't paid for the thumbnails, he owns the art. Which, I think the art is part of the brand, because you made it and you're part of the brand. But regardless, nobody fucking cares about your thumbnails.
He acknowledged that I own it, and it was my sole right to compensate myself with merchandise sales, like at the end of my live shows, which were also copyrighted by me. And speaking of copyrights, my copyright notice is even on some of the artwork that he's illegally hosting on his website. My trademark attorney's first suggestion was to mediate to try to resolve things in good faith, because that's what reasonable people try to do.
Court isn't something to be used as a spectacle and should only be used as a last resort. Of course, Fanboy rejected this and immediately started promoting this frivolous lawsuit for content. Then my lawyer told me that it would be very expensive to fight this, and I didn't have the funds to protect my rights at the time, so I had no choice but to fold. I had to cede part of my podcast to my vindictive stalker. This stalker has always had deep pocketbooks, in part because he used to brag that his parents bought him a house in Arizona, and he used to brag about all the free money he would collect from tenants. Not being able to defend yourself in court is what injustice looks like. Someone with deep...
Guys, I'm really gonna own this Dick Masterson guy. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell everybody that he's rich. That'll really get him. That'll really fucking make them see.
He is in the wrong and not me.
Yeah.
Because he has money. The entire world is against people with money.
Yes, of course.
Can abuse the legal system and cost you money indefinitely. But in 2021, my stalker did finally reboot my podcast with a new co-host, which was exactly what I was trying to prevent by trading.
Yo, Vito mentioned W. Read Super Killer today. Vito finally
Just
put his
loop
comic
it.
out,
Just-
by
just-
the way.
Hey Riley, loop it.
Loop what?
You would open the menu and I was like, hey, just click loop. It's right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna loop the video. I think I only need to see it once. I think we're gonna do a deep dive into Vito at some point. Maybe Friday. We're having Mo on Friday. I think Mo might be interested in joining me for that. If not, I'll probably do it Monday. But yeah, Vito's comic book is out. W Vito.
Trademark.
Monday at what?
Again.
What?
I said Monday at what time? Same time as today?
I don't know. The show doesn't really have a time slot. I just kind of do it.
He doesn't have my authorization to do so. It's my brand and my IP.
No, it's not.
Just glom onto someone who's way more famous than you.
I love the insinuation that Vito is more famous than Dick. He might have been at some point, but he certainly is not now. And I don't think he was then either, when the show started. Because he doesn't really do YouTube that much. He hadn't... Maybe he was still doing YouTube at the time. I don't know. The point is, this whole glom onto somebody more famous than you comment you took way too seriously, Maddox.
And if you thought things couldn't get scummier, they're charging money for it on Patreon, none of which is being given to me. This is just theft. They're using my...
Except it's not, because it's not your brand, Maddox. You
also
don't
not your
have
show.
the copyright to it anymore.
IP without my authorization and profiting off it like a bunch of fucking loser thieves. So finally, after years of damages due to his smear campaign and the constant harassment, doxing, fraud, stalking, and coordinated attacks to write negative reviews of my books, shows, and podcasts, it became clear that a lawsuit was unavoidable. At one point, the police suggested I contact the FBI and even try the legal route. So that's what I did.
That cop was joking. That cop was fucking with you. That was a cop doing a bit because of how retarded you are. He listened to your story, and it was so not at all illegal and completely retarded that he sarcastically told you that you should call the FBI. Because no normal person calls the FBI for anything.
Yeah, no, not
You
at
were
all.
being fucked with, Maddox. You insane idiot.
This type of smear campaign is so gratuitous and large in scope that it's almost unheard of, but there are a few precedents. In 2009, a jury awarded a couple $13.8 million when Mark and Rhonda Lesher won a lawsuit against people who were slandering and harassing them for about a year on a message board. And just like my case, they included false allegations and rumors of sexually transmitted diseases, sexual misconduct, and crimes they never committed.
What he's referring to is a stupid Twitter account, where the name of the account was Heather S, which is the fake girl that Maddox pretended to be to get Asterios fired. That's a whole other story, which I will tell you right now because I don't know why I'm moving on from it. So Maddox, in one of his many schemes to ruin the lives of Dick Masterson and anybody associated with him, uh, impersonated a female journalist named Heather S. and emailed Asterios's place of business claiming that he was like she was doing like a piece on like harassment or something, and like, oh, you care to comment about how your employee has been harassing this individual? Like it's completely scumbag shit. So somebody made an account. It's literally called Heather S. It's not funny, but it is obviously like an attempt at a joke, and Maddox taking it super seriously is disingenuous. It's an account. It's named Heather S, so it's obviously a bit, and it's just like a fake rape story about Maddox. Like it's not funny. You shouldn't fake rape stories about people, but at the same time, it's not that fucking serious. Nobody thought this was real.
But at the same time, wasn't he trying to fake a sexual harassment story with the same like account name, basically?
I'm sorry, what?
That wasn't Maddox. Okay, so you said Maddox had made a
No, not
fake.
sexual, not sexual. It was, but he's lies. He's lying. He lies all the time. So people lie about him, and he gets upset. But he lies about other people, and that's fine.
When you allege
Yeah.
that someone has STDs, that's a special type of defamation called defamation per se, where damages are automatically assumed. Fanboy engaged in this type of defamation on multiple occasions.
I'll tweet it and say,
So if I
Maddox is a
say
fucking
Riley,
moron with emotional problems.
What are you saying?
I was gonna say, so if I go on Twitter and I say Riley's a fat fuck with STDs and he's gonna give them to the first bitch he gets,
Then yeah,
then
I'll sue you for defamation per se, you piece of shit. Fucking sue you in court.
that's some fucking dumb shit.
And people are saying that his girlfriend has herpes.
He even linked to and promoted a website alleging the same thing. This article was very creepy and included graphic details about her body, and the stalker personally shared it. The Lesher
Yeah,
suit
Riley,
claims
your
that their
girlfriend
attack
has
went on for
herpes.
9 months and they had approximately 1,300 pages of harassment. For comparison, Fanboy's smear campaign against me has gone on for over 5 years, and there's over 31,000 comments on Reddit alone, many of which are defamatory.
Backwards graph, by the way. This is funny. This is funny. He does say it's a reverse chronological graph, but it's like you know what you're doing. The visual creates something in your brain where you're thinking that it's getting worse because you're seeing a line go up, but it's a reverse chronological graph.
Yes.
It does say the years, like it's not hiding it, but it's a mind trick. And Maddox knows it's a mind trick.
For comparison, Fanboy's smear campaign against me has gone on for over 5 years.
See, it's going up, but it's 2021, 2020, 2019. Like, fucking stupid.
And there's over 31,000 comments on Reddit alone, many of which are defamatory. Fanboy has personally harassed my friends, colleagues, and anyone associated with me on almost every social media platform I'm on. And his hate mob followed his lead, which has led to numerous threats and attacks. And he's even directly encouraged them to contact
I thought
me,
that John
leading to
Basher
spam and
guy was
harassment
you
on
for a
every
second.
platform, including email. He even stalked one of my co-hosts to find her.
Unfortunately, I'm like nowhere in any of this. I'm not even on the schizophrenic docs list that he put out.
Damn, that's bitchy.
It's unfortunate because he pulled his docs list as people who were in the Dick Show Facebook group in like 2017. Most of which don't even listen to the show anymore. So it was like completely stupid and not a good idea at all. Even if it was current, it wouldn't have been a good idea, but it's even more retarded that it's from fucking 2017.
I was gonna say the doc list should have exclusively included you.
Yes, here's the list of harassers. Riley, that's it. It's the only one.
It's the only one, Riley.
followers to contact her there. He's even encouraged people to call my voicemail number to spam me there as well.
Kill yourself.
Did you ever call and spam his voicemail number?
Fucking fag.
Oh, you're missing all the great voicemails that people sent to him.
Spam me there as well.
Kill yourself. Fucking faggot. Dicks at me. Fuckwad. Fucking faggot. Loser cunt.
You're a fucking faggot, dude. Dick shows much better.
Kill yourself, faggot.
So if I
I love that. Riley,
No,
you ever make a call like that?
I sent genuine voicemails in the best debate in the universe. I got played a couple times.
Should have just called him a fucking faggot and never called again.
And that's what I should have done when he blocked me on Twitter. I was trying to play nice with Maddox for a while. I was kind of trying to play both sides, and then he figured out that I was associated with Dick and blocked me. So,
damn.
Finally, in November of 2017, after several law enforcement agencies suggested I hire a lawyer, a lawsuit was filed. It was against 8 defendants, including Fanboy and his business partners, Asterios, the company Asterios worked for called Weber Shandwick, Patreon, and my point of contact at Patreon. My counsel was seeking damages in excess.
okay. I just want to make one thing clear. Whatever. This lawsuit is insane. Suing the companies is insane. But not as insane as the Patreon trust and safety guy. The guy that you talked to at Patreon. That specific guy. Not just Patreon as a whole, as you would, I guess, normally do when you felt slighted in that way. He sued the guy. The fucking wage slave customer service employee that he talked to.
Okay.
Psychotic. Completely psychotic.
Of $20 million because those are typically the type of damages awarded to cases like this.
Okay. 13 million is much less than 20 million. And also, this is a more intense case. A much more intense case.
The first thing I wanted to do was announce that I intended to donate the entire judgment minus my legal fees and damages towards a fund for other people going through the same thing. And that's still something I'd like to do because nobody should ever have to deal with a
Too bad you lost.
smear campaign like this. But my lawyer insisted that I stay silent like most lawyers would do. So I did. But unfortunately, staying silent gives the impression that you're guilty of something. And my stalker capitalized on my silence as much as he could, spreading more gossip, lies, and slander about me. I sued the stalker for interference in business relationships, contracts, conversion, false advertising, deceptive trade practices, and invasion of privacy, which is using—
Why did you elbow the
my
door?
Fucking God, Crow Royalty, you have a mute
Could've
button
just
for a
gently
reason.
pushed it in.
You believe this guy? Still not muted.
Jesus Christ, people are fucking rude. I didn't even have. I didn't even have a chance to mute that time. They just kicked the fucking door in.
You should be, before you respond to what has happened, you should be looking for the mute button.
I was looking for the mute button before I even realized I was responding.
Okay, anyway.
likeness without consent for commerce.
No, you didn't. You sued him for defamation because he called you Huck. There are legal transcripts of your lawyer arguing about how calling somebody a cuck is defamation. This happened. You can't hide from it. You might have thought you might have in your mind this was your motivation for suing him, but what your lawyer wrote on the paper is defamation because he called you a cuck, which is not defamation.
Of privacy, which is using someone's name.
George, Maddox, buddy, defamation is only defamation if it's not true. It's a Nick Rekieta quote, everybody.
Or likeness without consent for commerce. He regularly uses my name, face, and likeness to promote himself, like this photo of me where he uses it directly to promote his Patreon page.
Even as I created this video, Fanboy was using my name and likeness to market and sell merchandise. These are just illustrations of me and my personas that he's using to sell products. I covered the reason why Asterios and Weber Shannock were sued in another video, but in case you haven't watched it, the short version is my lawyers named his company as defendants because we learned that Asterios was doing a considerable portion of the harassment from work, and they allowed him to continue even after they were made aware of his activities. Weber Shannock's defense in court was very bizarre. They essentially argued that they don't have a duty to protect the public. Well, that's interesting because they go out of their way to represent themselves as a forward-thinking and progressive company, spilling mountains of ink about how they're leaders in progressive causes and social...
Maddox, do you mean to tell me that a corporate company lied and obfuscated for the purposes of public reputation? I can't believe this. Who would ever do that? Nobody's ever done that before. This is
Looks at Maddox, who's
this is
doing this right now.
crazy. This is fucking insane. Yeah, I wasn't even making that point. I was just saying that he's fucking that he's Bart that this is a whole retarded argument. But that's right. He's also lying.
Justice initiatives like diversity, equity, and
We're just
inclusion.
here like,
In court, my counsel tried to argue that Fanboy and Asterios were intentionally going after my sponsors. And literally, as my lawyer was talking, the judge interrupted him and said it sounds like fake news.
And my mic's going on in OBS again. That's fake news.
Fake news.
I also took Patreon to court because I made Patreon aware of the rape and death threats, stalking, doxing, and damages caused by the stalker, and they told me on multiple occasions that their trust and safety team would handle it, which caused me to delay further action, and they did nothing. Patreon presents itself as a progressive company that promotes causes like Black Lives Matter, yet in private, they directly profit off this activity while my stalker markets and promotes white supremacists with funds he collects using their company. The judge dismissed the claims against Patreon in part because of...
What?
That was an image of the Family Guy, dude.
The Family Guy?
Wait, no, is that him?
Are you saying Are you saying one of these is Peter Griffin?
No, not Peter Griffin, the actor.
Oh,
the middle guy looks
Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. I forgot his name.
That's famous anti-Semitic political commentator Nick Fuentes.
Have we ever seen them in the same room as each other?
You know, good point. Maybe Seth MacFarlane is Nick Fuentes. Who knows?
Using their company. The judge dismissed the claims against Patreon in part because of jurisdiction and in part because it's difficult to sue companies like Patreon to begin with because they have so many legal protections. And I learned through my lawsuit that dozens of other people have contacted them to complain about not just the stalker's harassment independently, but at times Patreon has even had child porn on their platform. And for whatever reason,
I'm sorry,
Patreon has continued to allow this hate campaign even...
Okay. Yeah, that's bad. Of course it is. But I would like to say again, as I've been saying a million times in arguments about Roblox recently, platforms as big as Roblox or YouTube or Patreon or Twitter, Facebook, they all fall victim to this. There's gonna be pedophile shit. Because there's 1 bajillion posts a second. One of those posts is gonna be a pedophile. And it's gonna be hard to eliminate all of that. They're trying their best, but it's not always gonna be perfect. And that's just reality. Like, sorry. Like, it's bad. We're gonna try our best to eliminate it, but it's just there's no bark to this because every fucking big website has child porn on it somewhere. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Yes.
Even though they banned other creators for much less. If only there was a reason.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not banning the pedophiles on purpose for money, Maddox.
Also involved in the lawsuit were Fanboy's business partners, in part because we had reason to believe company resources may have been used, and in part because they personally engaged in spamming and harassment. One day I made a comment on a friend's Facebook post, and then completely unprovoked, a person named Greg Bozer replied to my comment and spammed a link to Fanboy's website. Greg Bozer is Fanboy's president and business partner of his SEO company called Foundation Digital. So my friend deleted the post and then blocked him. Then another person from Foundation Digital, another co-founder of Fanboy's company, a guy named Lauren Baker, spammed a link to Fanboy's Patreon page again. My friend blocked both of them. And then, as if everyone associated with Fanboy has a medical condition that makes them unable to fuck off, Greg Bozer started following me on Twitter after I blocked him on Facebook, so I blocked him and his partner there as well. And again, it's worth emphasizing that I don't even know these people. Ultimately, the judge ruled that we didn't have...
Maddox, you don't have to know them. You're a public figure. You don't need to know them for them to interact with you on the internet. You are a public figure.
Maddox,
This is
you're a retard.
You are a retard, yes. You're also a public figure. This is the disconnect that Maddox has. It's different when you are a public figure. Hey, Maddox. Hey, big famous Maddox. You wrote a New York Times best-selling book. You made this great podcast that you entirely own, for sure, definitely. You are a public figure. People are allowed to say things about public figures, more so than
People
they are
are also
normal
allowed
people.
to say things about retards.
With the family that got sued, or that they sued and they won, they were not public figures to my knowledge. And even if they weren't shit-stir public figures who attack other people like you. You brought this on yourself, you mouth-breathing fucktard.
Retard. Fucktard, what the hell?
jurisdiction against the stalker and his partners because the lawsuit was filed in New York. The suit was filed there because that's where Weber Shandwick and Asterios reside, as well as a company that Asterios registered as part of the smear campaign. New York has a long-arm statute that grants out-of-state jurisdiction.
Shout out to Spite Incorporated. Great company.
When a defendant has business interests in another state. Fanboy does commerce in New York, and he paid Asterios, one of his most regular co-hosts.
Skull Incorporated? Spite, never mind.
No.
I thought it said
at the time
Spike,
for
and I was
services
making
rendered
a joke.
in the state of New York. But despite the fact that Weber Shandwick was also headquartered there, the judge didn't think that was enough to establish jurisdiction. So the evidence in this video was never presented, and much of this case was never heard. Nobody won, nobody lost, and the judge said we could refile in California. But when my lawyers wanted to refile, I held off because lawsuits are expensive, time-consuming, and there's no guarantee I wouldn't get another judge who'd brush off this case by calling it fake news. So the majority of the evidence in this video has never been seen in court.
So that's his argument, that nobody won and nobody lost. Because not all the evidence has been seen in court. It's not real. It's retarded what he's saying.
No, Dick won.
Dick is the winner.
Roll the clip.
I assume that was the clip you were referring to?
Yep. Yep. It's the fact that we managed to put it in here twice.
So that's the story, essentially. He can never be convinced that he's even a little bit wrong about anything. He does not give one concession throughout that entire documentary. He's right. He's always right. Oh, I actually didn't end the podcast over the girl. I ended it because Dick stole $70 from the podcast. Like fucking stupid shit.
Like $70 actually matters in a fucking podcast.
And like he would ever do it. Like I'm being a little bit hyperbolic. So one of the many arguments, retarded arguments Maddox makes, is that Dick was like trying to steal from him, and there's like discrepancies in the accounting, which that's just because Dick Masterson is not an accountant, and you probably should have hired an accountant to do the accounting for your show, because it probably was just bad math. And also, so a couple of them are like 1,000 or something, which I guess is significant. But he immediately blows his credibility by the first one that he mentions, by even mentioning one where it's off by $70. As if Dick Masterson would bother to launder $70 from you. Retarded. He's so retarded, and he thinks he's a genius. And he kind of is, or kind of was. But he just got too invested in a girl, and he let it all crumble down. What is it? That's a thing with lolcows. Like Daniel Larson, a lot of his crash outs were about this Grace Vanderwall chick or whatever the fuck. There's always like a girl that like drives the darkness. But yeah, Maddox is a retarded cuck. And before we leave you today, because the podcast that this podcast is about is on in 10 minutes, and I assume I'm not gonna do well in that competition. Fucking, he's a retarded cuck. But before we go,
Yes.
one of the most retarded things that Maddox ever did was, as he was suing Dick and dealing with Dick and being the most anti-Dick Masterson person on the planet, he never revoked Dick's access to the iTunes feed that he stole.
Ever.
Which Dick, well, eventually he did, but it was after Dick found this out. In the midst of being sued, he was looking for like evidence. And this is about the trademark lawsuit, actually. He was looking for like evidence that people still listen to the show. So he went to check the analytics. And he found out he had access to the feed. So, you know, most people probably, their immediate idea would be to delete the feed or destroy it in some way. Dick is magnanimous. He doesn't want to punish the fans of Maddox. So he doesn't want to delete the show. He just leaves a little message.
Hey, everybody, this is Dick Masterson. You are listening to an episode of the best debate in the universe, or the biggest debate in the universe, whatever the fuck this show is called. I don't know why you're listening to this shit, but you are listening to it. There is nothing wrong with your audio player. I just wanted to talk to you for a quick second before I return you back to your show. If you missed me, and if you ever wonder what happened to the biggest problem in the universe, head on over to thedickshow.com or patreon.com/thedickshow, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you about how Maddox threw a gigantic tantrum over an ex-girlfriend and ended what is one of the greatest podcasts the world has ever seen. I'll tell you about how Maddox's girlfriend, Metal Jess, now has a restraining order against her for calling that ex-girlfriend's work and trying to get her fired, lying to get her fired, sobbing about it in court. I'll tell you about the
sobbing about it in court. I like that little tag.
$1 million lawsuit that Maddox filed against me, Asterios, Patreon, everybody's place of business to try and get us fired, that he just lost in court because he's an incompetent fuck who can sell books as well as he files lawsuits. You can hear the breakup letter that Maddox wrote to his ex like a whining baby bitch jilted lover. We read that. You can.
Okay, well, I'm not stopping this for you. I'm gonna end the show.
I know. I'm just letting you know. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You can hear about the video Maddox made calling me a rape apologist. The original troll on the internet, Maddox, sues people for making fun of him. Hear all about it on thedickshow.com, patreon.com/thedickshow. Oh yeah, you can also hear about the feed Maddox stole from the original show and redirected to his news show. Which is why I can do this, Maddox, you stupid motherfucker. You incompetent motherfucker. You steal a feed and you don't change the ownership. You dumb, bald fuck. You fucking idiot. Go back to Utah. Go back to Utah or go even further than that, man. You do not belong on this world. You sue-happy sack of shit. Come on over to thedickshow.com. We'll talk about it. I'm there. Sean's there. Asterios is there. Asterios, who is now fired because Maddox pretended to be a woman online, pretended to be a female journalist, and emailed Asterios' bosses saying that Asterios is an alt-right. Like, such a fucking crybaby. Now, fuck you, Maddox. Fuck you. Get raped. I now return you to your podcast, which you should unsubscribe from. This show is dog shit.
Maddox, you know what you should have known in the moment when you heard this message? There's something you should have known right then that you did not. You're cooked. You're cooked, little bro. How do you come back from that? What I just played for you might be the funniest thing to ever happen. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. There's no qualifiers there. The funniest thing that has ever happened. You lost.
That was.
Go ahead.
Answering.
You cut out.
I said that was worth answering.
I don't care about your fucking phone call. What?
No, I literally answered the phone call, and a toddler who's not even 2 yet was just saying "fuck."
Great.
It was hilarious.
I'm glad you interrupted my big epic final speech to tell me about a toddler saying "fuck." Thank you, Kurt Royalty.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I didn't even
information.
I didn't even know what you were saying.
Okay, picking up where we left off. Literally the funnest thing never happened. There's no coming back from that. The fact that you thought that you could come back 4 years later with a documentary and that would somehow flip it to your side is retarded because you lost the war right there. Right there is where you lost. There was never any coming back. Fucking sit down, little bro. You've been defeated. This has been Lolcow Report Maddox. See you tomorrow for, I guess, whatever the fuck's gonna happen on Lolcow Live tonight. I guess there's drama with PKA. That's interesting. I haven't listened to PKA lately, so I don't know if they said something about wings recently. I mean, they say things about wings all the time. What else was in the title? There was like 2 things in the title. Let me see what the other thing was. Oh, Blade's new job. Oh, there's a Blade update. Okay.
Neat.
For a minute, I thought I wasn't live, and I was about to crash out. I am live. Don't worry. But yeah, that's it. Maddox loss. See you next time.
Maddox lost. Maddox lost.
I would play it again, but I already played it for a 3rd time while you were gone. We don't need 4.
Damn it. Damn it.
Goodbye.
Like, that's how you were supposed to end it, Riley, is with the Maddox lost. Maddox lost.
It's my show. It ends with me, you fuck. Alright, goodbye. It's over.